Namaskar, welcome to the Elon Markets webinar series. I hope you all are keeping well and safe. I am back again, your host Swati Jaiswal, Head of Team Support at Elon Market and Stockit. It's our mission to simplify financial market, and with this objective, we bring the best brain in financial market for our participant. This special webinar, let me tell you, the most awaited webinar, Momentum Trading and Playing Breakout, is also part of offering in Stockage Club. Welcome all Stockage Club member and all other market enthusiastic who has joined today. I'm sure you have been seeing that a lot of webinars are coming up every Saturdays. We have today also, I just hosted a few hours back Sandeep ji, and it was amazing having Sandeep Jain for a session. So today also, right now at this particular moment, I have a most humble and the most very close personality, which I really like him and appreciate his work, and very good friend of mine. He's none other than Yogesh Nanda. Hi Yogesh, welcome to Elon Markets webinar series once again.
Thanks, Swati ji. How are you?
Right. I am good. I am good. I hope you're keeping well and taking care of your family, and everyone is doing good at your family too.
Yeah, all good. Hope everything
Right.
is fine at your end also.
Yes, absolutely. So Yogesh, could you just kindly tell me, thodi say, in words, that what exactly, what's there? Of course, like I am talking about the agenda of the session. What is exciting, waiting for the next 3 hours? Because आज का जो session है वो 3 घंटे का session है. So जिनको आप, I think आप वो different parts में आप अपनी presentation को share करेंगे. तो आप थोड़ा उसके बारे में जरा बताएं कि like what is there awaited for the next 3 hours for my participant today.
See, like in today's webinar, I'm going to cover the most difficult part of trading, which is trading a momentum and breakout trading. The reason it is difficult is, there are so many factors affecting breakouts, and it's so fast. Like targets are achieved just in one day, so you have to be really ready for those breakouts. Otherwise, you're going to miss it. And false breakouts, there are many things which make it difficult. So what I'm going to do is, other than breakout, just it's not a breakout trading. It's the entire process you have to carry out before and after the breakouts. So I'm sharing that entire process, how I do my post market analysis, how I trade, how I journal my trades. So entire process, plus I'm sharing some new perspective on how to look at stocks, like whatever happened in March, how you can, as a positional trader also, how can you save from yourself from those kind of falls. So I'll be sharing those, like there's one system which I'll be sharing with them. So
Right.
that's the whole agenda of today's.
Right. And I'm sure that my listener will have a lot of takeaway from today's sessions. They are really super excited, because I could see that वो लिखना शुरू कर दिए हैं, that they are super happy to have you today once again, Yogesh. I would also just suggest, like my audience, my listener, my lovable people, that if you have not watched Yogesh video of face-to-face series, because I have got him on your request with Vivek Bajaj on our show, that is face-to-face. If you have not watched that, please do watch at the Elon Markets channel, face-to-face channel. You will find the video which we have done with Yogesh, where he's sharing his experience, his knowledge. I am sure that would be amazing for you all people to attend. So Yogesh, I have few quick suggestions to all my listener before you proceed with this session. There are some set rules which I would like to convey to all my listener. So my dear listener, just remember that this session is a live session, and the session's recording will be given to you all today by 11 p.m. tonight. Yogesh, the presentation which you will be using today, are we going to share that with our listeners? Are you going to share it with me?
We are going to share that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, all right. So the presentation will also be shared with your people. So you all will get an email from support@elonmarkets.com notifying that the webinar recording is up along with the presentation. Okay. And if you have any question today, you can put the questions in the question panel. When Yogesh says that he is set to take up the question, please do not type your question previously, because it's become very difficult for the trainer to look at back and what the questions, because when he start the question panel, will be able to take up your questions properly. So please आप अपने questions तभी डालें when Yogesh is saying that he is ready to take up the question. So today the presentation will be divided into 3 parts. So he will be taking up the question as and when he proceeds with each topic, because this is what I think that would be really helpful. And like something really important from my side, as always, I keep telling you, whatever I am today, it is just because of all of you. Thank you so much for showing your love to me. And I'm really, really delighted that I'm able to work for you all people. मैं आप सभी के लिए काम करती हूँ और मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है for coming on the show. Tushar is writing that he finally got to see the people behind the voice. Like, I mean, he was able to see me. So, but then you get Tushar, like I have been doing a lot of session now. I have started using my webcam because people wanted to believe that yeah, it's Swati's like was the person, because there are a lot of things which goes on Twitter. So finally, yeah, I'm there because I really wanted to come and meet your people in person. So that's why I'm here. I started the same, Yogesh, if you remember. I first using of the webcam, I started with your show only. So from there I started the series. So I hope you all are liking my work. And yes, if you would like to follow me, you could just follow my Twitter handle. I'm a very new to the Twitter family because people wanted me to be there. So I'm just a starter at Twitter. So my Twitter handle is reachsjreach, reachsjsj, because my full name is Swati Jaiswal. You could follow me. If you want to call up, you ask us to call up for some specific trainers on the show, या फिर आप चाहते हैं कि मैं किसी specific trainers को बुलाऊं for the webinars, you can just always DM me, or you can tag me and tell me that you wanted to hear out that people. I definitely try to get that personality on the show. Not taking much time from here, Yogesh, I would give the show to you. I'm switching off my webcam. Yogesh, just remember that अगर आपका कोई audio issue आता है, so I will be the first person to come and tell you. Otherwise,
Sure.
आप expect करेंगे that everything is working flawless. For the people, I just have wanted to have a quick poll related to the audio. Okay, if you can hear me and Yogesh properly, could you just oh my god, people know that they have to write why. Oh, I love you, lot of you people, everyone, thank you. So you know me now that what I'm gonna say, so thank you. Okay, so everyone says that's all good. So 100% poll people have given me that the audio is flawless and everything is is yeah, thank you for the comments. Thank you that I'm looking good. Thank you. Okay. And yes, yeah, so if you find any issue with the audio, just remember that you have to check your audio setup to be kept as computer audio, and the internet should work properly, otherwise everything will be okay. In case if you're finding trouble, do not worry, just type in your mobile number, we will call you and help you. All right. So Yogesh, I'm just switching off my webcam. I would suggest you all to do for no lag with the audio and the video. And Yogesh, now you can share your presentation. Start with it.
Hello, friends. Yeah, uh, welcome all to my today's presentation. So today I'll be discussing breakout trading and momentum trading. So how to approach it, and what is the process which has to be followed. First, before that, I will touch upon few fundamental questions before for which faced by every trader. Like what are the reasons of failures in the market? The foremost reason is the effort which are needed to achieve that. There are a lot of efforts needed, lot of homework, lot of background work needed before you start trading. There are no predefined trading plan which many people follow, so you need to have a proper documented trading plan. We fight with many demons like greed, fear, and fail to control our emotions. So we always in market hours are we are always on a roller coaster ride. So that's why previous day working, like homework is much needed for to succeed in the market. Second thing which most mistake we do is we trade with biases, like going against the trend. We short uptrending stock, we buy downtrending stocks. So that is the major, reason for making losses. And second thing is failing to understand demand supply forces. Now, like nowadays, there are many, algos are in place. There are many intraday players, option writers, this, that. So there's so many things, new algos are there going on. So because of that, we need to understand the demand supply forces. There are many false breakdowns happening, false breakouts happening. Like, day before yesterday, market closed below its major support line, and next day it opened gap up. So people going short, they are totally trapped. So there are so many things, so we have to be very agile to, come out of all these things. Now let's start with the first part. Like there are myths in market that, we need very high success rate to succeed, and risk reward ratio of 1:3 is difficult to achieve. It's not like that. Now I tell you my, if someone is new, what is risk reward? Risk reward is whatever stop loss you are putting, and against that what reward you are getting. So that is a risk reward ratio. So higher the risk reward ratio, better you are placed in terms of profitability. Now for trading, there are three major factors, for profitability. One is your success rate, and second is risk reward. If both the factors are higher, your profit would be definitely higher. Now, for a momentum player, there is third factor, which is time. Now, time is, how quickly you enter the trade and you exit out of it. Now, suppose in a trade, you are there for 3 days and you make 5%. And in another trade, you just make 3%, but you are out in just 1 day. So which one is better? So I said time wise, for second trade is better, because you were there in that trade just for 1 day. You made your money and you are out. Now your capital is free to deploy, next day. So now this time factor is also very crucial while playing a momentum. So what momentum player eyes at is good return, higher success rate in shorter period of time. I'll just touch upon, basic of momentum. What is momentum? Now, momentum trading is a technique whereby traders buy and sells according to the strength of the stock. Now, any stock which is, when we call a stock in a momentum, when it covers a major ground in a very short period of time, it's in hurry to reach the destination line. That is called momentum. Now, strength can be absolute or relative. Absolute strength is stock on its own, giving a major return, and relative is in terms of index. Like say index is falling, but the stock is not falling. So we call it a relative strength. Now this relative strength is, can many a time tell us the leaders of the next rally. So when market will recover, who are the stocks which will run, hard before all the stocks. What are the reason of stock catching a momentum? There are many reasons, but I'll touch upon three main reasons. See, there is a change in a perception about the stock by a broader market participant. Say after INFI result, entire perspective of INFI view by a market participant is changed. So next day stock open gap up. So that is a change in perspective. Now when stock is in a compression zone, say for a longer period of time, and when it comes out that compression, so short sellers are trapped, or guys who are underweight on the stock, they have to buy the stock, because now stock has started performing, is out of a compression. That is another reason. And third thing is future and option players which are trapped. Now when stocks starts to run up, or stock opens a gap up, so there are option writers or future sellers, they are trapped. Now they are in losses, and these positions are huge. So if they start to cover, then stock rallies, another few percentage. So that is the, these are the major reason of stock catching momentum. So we have to see when you know the reason why things happen, so you can focus there, get the winners from there. So that's the whole idea of telling about the this background. Now, why to play momentum is optimum utilization of capital. Say stock runs up 3-4% in a day, and you end just out of 1 day. So in less time, you generated a higher return. We can play with smaller stop losses, and can do effective trailing when stock is in a momentum, because volatile stock can hit your stop loss quite fast. and trending stocks, trailing is easy. Then always try to play with the trend and not against the trend. Uh, Now, what are the characteristics of a momentum stock? One is outperforming in a bullish market or underperforming in bearish market. Now, they are supported by much higher volume. That volume is very high in these momentum stocks. History of holding the bigger gains. What I mean by this is when stock like Infi, I give you example, opened up 8% and it maintained that gain. So this is called the acceptance at a higher level. And then it consolidated for some time at that level and didn't came down. That means at higher price, stocks, performance is accepted. So it maintained that higher price. So entire change in the regime. So that's why, this is very important. When stock moves up big and holds there, that means there is more steam left and it can move up further. Then bigger and stronger moves, like if you look at hourly candle or daily candle, it gives 3-4% move in just a 1 hour candle. So these are the bigger and stronger moves. These are the characteristics of the momentum stock. Now there could be a strong catalyst in the stocks, like maybe earning catalyst, FDA approval in pharma stocks, market analysts, they are upgrading the stock, or maybe other guidance, like maybe stock giving higher return guidance or sales guidance they have increased. So these are the catalysts. And huge derivative activity. Now what I call by derivative activity is when there is huge long built up in upgoing stock or huge short built up in down moving stock. That means future participants are building a huge position, and these are not intraday players. They carry their position. That means they are looking for much bigger gains from here. And second category is short covering in derivative activity. Like short covering, when shorts are trapped, they have to cover, because otherwise the mark to market losses will going to increase manifold. So they, especially option writers, so they have to cover, and they pull up another few percentage stock up. And long unwinding, maybe a negative news, stock going down, so already you are long, they have to exit. So this I call by a derivative catalyst. Now what is the at same time it is difficult to play the breakout. Now why it is difficult, I'll give you the main problems and then what could be the solution. It's not important just to identify a problem, you have to come find a solution also. So after real breakout, stock is in, many times what happens after real breakout, whenever there are real breakout, stock is in rush to reach the target. It is so difficult to catch. So what is the solution to that is we are ready with the stock, like we should be ready with the stock which are probable out breakout candidates. So we enter early and we have an alert mechanism, so we know at early stage that the stock is going to break out. Now after big move, psychologically it is difficult to enter the stock. So solutions to this is, if we know the final target where this stock is going, say stock has gone up by 5%, and I know target for this stock is a 10 to 12%, so I can still enter psychologically if I can accept this fact. So at the next opportunity I'm definitely entering in that stock. It should not happen that after blasting breakout we miss the move. Third major problem is which even I used to face, is not doing homework, just going in a market with blank slate and trading a random trading. So we are not able to catch the breakout at earliest. So solution to this is looking at many charts daily basis, because there is no gain without pain. I'll share you my plan. How do I do homework post market? Now look at this example, Dr. Reddy. Now here we can see 3 breakouts, one in April. Now this breakout happened like March, entire market was down. Stocks were down 25-35%. Okay, and this stock recovered fast and it moved above its March February high. So as I said, one catalyst is, outperforming in bearish market. You have to be in continuous look for these stocks. And you can see this breakout in a single day, it covered maybe, 5-6%, and then moved, slowly started moving up. And second catalyst, which I said, is acceptance at higher level. Now you can see after reaching 4,000 level also, stock is not falling much. Maybe some dips are there, but it's consolidating at this level. That means at 4,000 level, market participant have accepted this stock, and there is no major selling at this level. Now again, this stock gave a second breakout in August and moved, in 2-3 days, it covered the entire journey. Now, just imagine, stock is in consolidation for 3 months, and one sudden day it breaks out and out in just 2 days. How to catch these stocks? I know it's difficult. Then again, it gave third breakout where, in just 3 days, it moved up maybe say 20%. Now, if you are not ready or alert on these days, so you miss these stocks. So this is the main characteristic of breakout and momentum stocks. It's they just fly. So you have to be ready to catch them. I have one more example, IndusInd Bank. Just see the consolidation from June to August, and just one breakout, and in 3 days, it gave 25%. If you're not ready, can you think you can catch this breakout? Now, here I finished my, first part of my presentation. I like to take the question at this point before I move to the system part. Many people are saying no audio, video, lost audio. Swati ji, am I audible?
Everything is yeah,
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
is fine. I just have helped them with that. So आप एक काम कीजिए योगेश जी, like you have to go towards the bottom of the question. People are writing the
okay,
question. You
okay.
can give a few moment because people are still
Sure,
typing. तो
sure.
आप एक नीचे की तरफ से 3:22 से आप questions लीजिएगा. You can start taking the question from 3:22.
Okay, okay. Sure. Someone, momentum and trend. See, momentum is a immediate immediate phenomena. Like, maybe stock may be in momentum for 5-6 days or a month, but trend is a larger term trend which we look at maybe a weekly and monthly times. So what is a larger term trend? Maybe in 1 or 2 year where the stock is heading. That is the trend, and momentum is a short term phenomena. Now, where to keep a stop loss in these kind of markets? I'll be covering stop loss part, but I can tell you stop loss. There are many things. I'll tell you how to keep a stop loss. How to catch a false breakout. Now, to catch a false breakout, volume and the type of candle is important. In a real breakout, candle would be really big with huge volume. If not huge, then at least 1.5 or 2 times of the average last 10 days volume. So volume and the candle type is the key, to catching the false breakout. How to find a momentum stock? I'll be covering that. In case of catch a breakout, even breakout target I'm covering. How select stock, I'll be coming to it. What is the best time frame for you? So I start with daily charts, and then I look at hourly charts, and for intraday I look at 15-minute chart. So should not go below this, because below this it's a just noise. How to find a stock which outperform in a bearish market? It's just like daily observing the chart and daily looking at the price performance of the stocks, and obviously chart which I'm going to share how we look at it. Yeah, I'm covering how to select the stock. Someone is asking how to set stop loss for future and option. Like future stop loss is same, like I'll be covering where you can keep a stop loss. And for options, I have one slide on option because it's difficult to cover in 3 hours everything. But I have one slide, how I trade breakouts with options. So just wait for last part. Yeah, key is how to identify these stocks, which definitely I'll be covering. See, illiquid stock using a momentum, I will not recommend because I stick to BSE 200 stocks or majorly FNO stock I trade. I don't go into illiquid stock. See, good quality mid caps I do trade sometime, like Tata Metallic and all those, but very limited. See, 200 moving average is necessary in breakout or not. See, it's good if stock is above 200 moving average, then it's definitely good. But I don't follow 200 moving average because I look at the strength in the stock. So it's good. You can look at it. Is there any screener for shortlisting? Yes, I'll be sharing the screener. Stock selection process I'll be covering. A whole momentum play, is it mostly swing or intraday play too? See, majorly in swing, majorly it's a swing, but you will observe that stocks giving a breakout, they fly in intraday. So it's an intraday play also. You can take a swing position also, but these breakouts momentum are so fast, you have to play intraday. You can take it, obviously you can carry the position, but intraday you have to be alert. So we don't need fundamentals for picking the momentum because price, as a technical analyst, you can't complicate the things. Just focus on price. The price action tells you everything. And in later part I'll cover where you will be able to identify the stocks, when you have to trade them, when you don't have to trade them. Yeah, I'll be sharing the tool. How to find the target, I'll be covering that. Now I think all repetitive, what candle range and time period should be considered for this study. You have to start with daily time frame, then you have to look at chart on the hourly time frame also. So I max trade on hourly, and rarely I go to 15 minutes. I go to 15 minutes for intraday. I'll be sharing the scanner. As a FNO stocks having more than 160 stocks, whether we need to screen. See, I tell you, you can from your universe. Maybe you can start with smaller universe, then you can widen the universe. You have to start with smaller universe. No need to scan all this 160 stocks. You start with smaller universe, then gradually once you get a grip, you expand your universe. You can do on delivery stocks also, not only on future, but pick up good scripts where volume is decent. Should not pick illiquid stocks. Now preparation part I'll be telling you. Holding stocks in next few days is difficult in case of stocks didn't continue momentum. How to deal with this issue? See, stop loss and trailing stop loss are for that only. So you have to other to stop loss. See, in moment after breakout, for how many days should we wait for confirm the breakout? You have to confirm on same day, because you can't wait for 2-3 days, because otherwise stocks would fly. For breakout, is it better to look at volume or OI or both? It's sufficient to look at volume. OI, I just look at day end to filter the stock. I don't use OI to, trade the breakout. OI is just an indication. See, momentum stock, it doesn't mean only on upside. Momentum can, someone is asking, advisable to enter momentum stock if broader market or sector is going down. Now, momentum not necessarily on upside. Momentum can be on downside also. Along with long, you can go short. If broader market is going down, you can find short opportunities also, because breakdowns happen lower side also. So not necessarily you can do long only, you can do short also. Now, someone is asking, I spotted a breakout in Apollo Hospital day before yesterday. Now, a reason for Apollo Hospital breakout, I'll be covering in second part, because I have one system where I'll be sharing with you how we differentiate between bullish stock and bearish stocks. So in that, Apollo Hospital was in bullish part. So that's why, it was, it gave a breakout. I think there are too many questions pouring in. I need to move on, but still I'll see something new. Yeah, intraday breakouts I'll be covering. Big candle means percentage move plus, where that candle closes. The candle which, closes above the breakout level with lower wick, is an ideal candle. Candle closing at the higher part of the candle. There should not be, it's go up and then come down. Which is the perfect momentum indicator. There is no perfect momentum indicator. Is price action is the best indicator. Should we go all in or go with little quantity? I'll be covering. See, you have to decide how much amount you want to risk. Accordingly, you have to enter the trade. It should not be your quantity should not vary stock to stock. Every trade, your risk should be same. Yeah, now I'll be moving to next, but I think all repetitive questions are coming. Yeah. Hello, friends. See, now in second part, I'll be covering, first method, how I play, sorry, momentum. That is a compression. I call it measured move method. Now, why measured move? We'll come to that part later. See, before, if you observe the chart, all the breakouts charts or all the stocks which gain momentum, and what happened to these stocks before the momentum. Correct. So like doctor, before diagnosing for illness, looking at what are the symptoms. So if you look at the symptoms of these stocks before major breakout, they were in a prolonged compression phase. Now what is compression? Compression means either price is trading in a stringent range, maybe a small range for longer period of time, or price is trading in a range and range getting narrower. Getting my point? So I'll show you with the example. Just you. So there is now what happens before a major breakout is there is a fight between bull and bear, and stock getting ready for next move. So that is the compression. It's compression in volatility as well as price also. Now how compression looks on chart? I keep it very simple. I just look at few chart patterns to look at the compression. We can identify through patterns like triangles, wedges, range, rectangles, and flags. I'll explain these patterns, don't worry. Now, what are these patterns? These patterns are like, spring, before bigger move, stock price is compressed like a spring. And when you release it, it races to the start line, races from start line to the finish line in hurry. Once stock leaves the line, it's in hurry to reach the destination, and it will bounce like a spring. So that is called the compression method. Now, provided you can play this, provided you identify levels correctly. Now I'll cover each part, this triangles, wedges, and everything. Now, first part is triangles. Now, this is hourly chart of Dr. Reddy. Now, if you look at what's happening here, stock from 18th May till 21st July was in range, and this range was contracting. So it's forming a triangle. Now, if you can see here, after breakout, there's heavy volume, and stock covered its target in just you can say 2-3 days. So this is a real breakout, real momentum. Now here you can say the stock has caught a momentum, and it's gaining momentum. Now here another example. This is Ibul Housing Finance. This is 1 hour chart. You can see stock is forming a triangle pattern. You can see from here range is from 136 to 156, then again made a low, but this low is higher than this. This high is again higher, lower than this. This low is again lower than previous low. So its price is compressing within a triangle. And after breakout, you can see breakout with a gap out of this range and target achieved in just 2-3 days, and see the volumes. So this is first part, triangle part. We see real charts also. I just first explain basic. Now second pattern which I follow is wedges. Now wedge can be a rising wedge or falling wedge. Now difference between triangle and wedge. Wedge is also a triangle, but triangle and wedge major difference is, during a triangle price is not moving anywhere. It's stuck at within a price range. But in wedge, price is moving down, plus it's in a compression, like you can see volatility, price is going down but volatility is reducing. So that is highlighted by uh, lower length of lower height of this triangle. Now height of triangle is reducing. You can see it's every time bounces from the lower trend line and takes resistance at the higher trend line. Now real breakout happened at 300, and you can see within few days it touched the target line. Now before moving further, I'll show you how we calculate the target. As you can see here, I'll remove this. Now here we can see triangle. Now target of triangle is the height of triangle. So this way I'll measure the height of triangle, and now I'll move this to upper side. So from breakout level, if I add this distance, now this height of triangle, if I add to the breakout level, that will be our target level. And you can see within few candles it achieves the target. So these are real breakouts. You can show you ICICI. Now, as you can see, there is a wedge. Now, let me measure the height of this triangle. Now, this is the breakout point. If I add this to my target, you can see this is the target, and stock after some consolidated moves, it achieves the target. So why it's important to know the target is because we should know how far stock is going, how far, how relevant this breakout is. So that's the reason, knowing the target. Now, third pattern which I look at is rectangles or ranges. Now, what happens in ranges is stock consolidated within a upper boundary. This is upper boundary, and here it is a lower boundary. Stock consolidated for a longer period of time, and then once it gives a breakout, it races to the finishing line. And same here in rectangle also, target would be same way. We'll calculate the target. You can see here upper boundary. Now how to draw this rectangle is where upper boundary is level, where more than two or more than 2 points are there touching, and lower boundary is the lower side range for given period of time. So same height, if I add to my breakout level, you can see the target. Now these are very basic patterns. You must have been seen these, but issue is how to use it is the key. Now after knowing the target, if you know the target here, this is my target, then it is easy to play further momentum. Now after this breakout, this stock halted for some time. It was in consolidation for few candles, and then again it started to move. So this gives us the confidence, like this is our target, and stock can go till this level. So that's why it's important, knowing the target. Now, fourth pattern is flag. Now this is most important pattern. Reason is, as I told you, what's the characteristic of breakout is, now at this level stock gave a breakout, then it consolidated for few candles. Now what pattern this is forming here is, now this move from breakout till here is a pole, and for some time this was in consolidation, so this is a flag. So after this breakout, you can find the target by from starting point till this consolidation and add it to the upper breakout. So this is a flag breakout, and you can see the target here. Now as you can see here, first there was a wedge breakout, stock went sideways, and we can spot another bullish pattern, correct? So now we know even target of wedge is here, and this second pattern target is also close by, so there is higher probability this stock can go till 360 level. So that's why it's important to knowing this pattern. Now I'll show you. Now characteristic of flag is there is a bigger and stronger move. After that, consolidation for some time. Now target for flag would be from bottom till top of the pole and add it to the breakout level. So this is our target. You can see where this target is also achieved. So this way you will observe many patterns on charts while observing the charts, which I'll be covering in my process part. And as you can see at this breakout, this volume is also improving. Now third part is how to scan for compressions. Now, as you know, I always believe there is no substitute to hard work. You can use any scanner or any indicator. The best whatever price pattern will conviction the you will get by price pattern, you won't get it anywhere. So that's why I give more important to manual scan. Manual looking at chart manually, like you will be able to understand demand supply forces only by looking at charts. So daily you have to scan your chart list, which I do manually, looking at the charts of the watch list. And you can use few scanners, like what is compression, like what is NR7 and NR4 candles. NR7 candle means the today's candle is the lowest candle of last 7 days. That means range of today's candle, high and low, high minus low is the range. So range of today's candle is lowest in last 7 days. So that is one kind of saying that stock's price is compressed. Then you go and look at those charts. So you'll be able to if you're able to spot the pattern, you can definitely trade there. So I use this one scanner. Now fourth thing is, it's not only important today you scan few chart, you observe few patterns, and next day you move to next chart. You have to keep a track of these patterns, like after breakout there are many stock which goes into sideways, so you should know the target. So how useful this sheet would be is, after breakout there are many stock which rush to target immediately. Many stock after move they go for some sideways. Few stocks will retrace the breakout. So at retracement also you can buy. So again, they will move to that target. So knowing target and documenting it is very important. Now this is how narrow range candle will look at. This scanner will look at. I'll give you the scanner. Now we'll move to the detailed part of the system. Like it's entire jigsaw puzzle. Like what to sell, what to buy, how much to buy, what will be the stop loss, when to book a profit. Here, what I say is catching a right stock is very important. Now, here measured move method. My trading process, start with the stock selection. Then money management is deciding how much to buy, what quantity to buy. Then trade management, like entry, exit, stop loss management, when to buy, when to exit. I follow few rules for trading a breakout. Is have a strict discipline for stop loss and profit booking and trailing a stop loss. Have standard betting size per trade, like for every trade your risk should be same. It should not happen on few trade you take a bigger risk, few trade you take a smaller risk. It should be a standard risk. I trade only in Nifty, Bank Nifty and top 200 companies. You can use it on few quality mid caps. It's better if we trade in the direction of the medium term trend. What is the medium term trend of the stock? Never long downtrending stock and never short uptrending stocks. Never try to catch top and bottoms. Just go with the flow, how market is moving. Now I'll start with my trading process. Now how I might day end once market day is over, evening. How my process start is, I observe the now momentum can be of two types. One stock which is in compression and about to give breakout, and other is stock which has already given a breakout. So I scan all the stocks which have moved today by more than 3% and witness a jump in volume as compared to last 10 days. So there is, 1.5 or 2 times volume as compared to last 10 days. Or a stock with a long built up and short built up in FNO data with more than 10%. Now, what is long built up? As I already told you, like long in future, when you buy a stock, it's called you have bought a stock. In future, if you buy a stock, you go that is called you go long on a stock, so that is called long built up. And when you short a stock, it is called short built up. And if a percentage of OI built up is greater than 10% as compared to previous day, so I'll look at chart of that stock whether there is any pattern forming or not. And last thing, I prefer manually watching all my charts on my watch list. So whatever my watch list is there, I scan all the charts that will do it together. So if you are new, so you can start with 5 to 10 stocks and gradually increase your watch list. Once you develop a habit of scanning the charts, looking at charts visually, then you can increase your watch list size. Now, how to analyze a chart? We'll look at in chart also. But how to analyze a chart is first you have to mark major swing high and swing lows on the chart. These are the support and resistance. Start with daily or weekly daily charts, or weekly chart is also fine. Now identify major trend of the stock, like where stock is going, whether it's uptrending stock, downtrending stock, or sideways stock by drawing a trend lines. Start with higher time frame like daily or weekly, and then come to lower time frame, maybe a daily and hourly, to identify the pattern. So I normally do it on hourly chart for pattern identification. Then so then how to form a pattern, that we'll see live, but just you have to see how triangle is forming. Just join major tops and bottoms on hourly charts near term. Is it forming any pattern or not? You will come to know. So out of this, if stock selection, how my stock selection start is trade in the direction of the medium term trend. So identify stock at major support or resistance and it's reversing. So maybe as I told you, if any pattern like triangles, ranges, trend lines, double bottoms, or stock giving a fresh breakout, or stock has recently given a breakout and is retesting its breakout. Getting my point? So stock has already given a breakout of any pattern. Its target is still pending, but it's retesting its breakout level. So these are the stock which I select for my momentum trading. So now what's next step is make a list of these stocks. If you observe any of the following patterns, like trend line support resistance, ranges, triangles, wedges, so you note that in your journal. I'll show you how journal looks once we start identifying this. Now what are entry, exit, and stop loss rules? Now once you have a list of, just a second, I'll just open this journal. Now as you can see, I maintain this kind of journal, like what are stocks which are in consolidation. Has I observed any pattern in it? Is it a buy or sell once it gives a breakout? Entry, what would be my entry level? What would be my target, as I showed you how to calculate the target for each pattern? And what would be my stop loss? Now we'll move to stop loss in next slide. And this is just to see the how far we are from target or entry point. If stock is at all-time high, then you mention here it's a all-time high. So this gives you added conviction. And for filtering also, future filtering also, this is useful. Now we move to entry, exit, and stop loss part. Now take trade only if breakout has happened from a pattern. Don't take preemptive entries. You can take two type of entries here. One is breakout. For breakout trades, allow candle. Maybe for intraday you can use 15-minute candle, and for positional you can use 1 hour candle. Allow candle to close above the breakout level and with higher than average volume. So volume is also important. But close on hourly candle or 15-minute candle is more important. So if you're trading intraday, then go for 15-minute candle. If you're trading on for positional, then I prefer hourly candle. Now stop loss would be a previous swing low or high, or 1/3 of the target, whichever is low. Now this I'll show you with example. I will just go to Dr. Reddy chart. Now here we can see stock after bigger move, it's in consolidation zone, and we can see here highs and these are the lows. This is forming a triangle. Now what will the target of this triangle? If I add, if suppose it breaks out here, so this would be my target. So let's so after I spotted this trade, I'll journal it. Dr. Reddy, CMP 5118. It's a triangle, maybe buy or sell, but looking at its major trend is upside, so I won't take short trade here. It's in uptrending stock, so I'll prefer buy trade only here. Buy entry would be, say it breaks out here, then 5160. My target is 5490 or say 5500. So now my stop loss would be, if it breaks out here, previous swing low is this level. So this is 5030. Now difference between my entry and stop loss is 130 points, and my target is 340 points. If I do 1/3 of this, it's 113. So I'll keep target of 113 or say 115. Now reason is, I want to trade for at least 1:3 risk reward. I want to start my trade with 1:3 risk reward. So if my stop loss is 113 and if I achieve the target, then it's 1:3 risk reward. So that's the reason, I take maximum stop loss is 1/3 of my target. So here our stop loss would be 5045. Now for retracement rates, use breakout level for entry purpose. Now say after breakout, stock retraces its breakout level. Then when stock retests its breakout level after giving a breakout and still target is not achieved, so that is our entry. But wait for a strong reversal candle at breakout level and then take an entry. I'll show you what candles we look at. Now stop loss in here also would be same, previous swing low, high, or 1/3 of target, whichever is low. Now I'll come to money management part. We'll see the example, all these things, we'll see the example, don't worry. Now, money management part. As we have a predefined stop loss, so our position size should be a system determined, like, it should be quantity, your quantity should be decided by the system. And so, so then only, your all losses would be standard and profits would be standard, and you won't be taking undue risk. And how I decide my capital position size is, say my capital is 20 lakhs and I take 0.5% of risk on my per trade. So 20 lakhs into 0.5%. So my per trade risk is 10,000 rupees. And say on a stock, my entry is 100 rupees, my stop loss is 97 rupees, and my target is 109. So I'm taking 3 rupees risk in this trade, and my profit is 9. So my risk reward could be 1 is to 3, and my quantity would be divided by calculated by 10,000 divided by 3 rupees, because I'm taking 3 rupees risk. So my quantity would be 3333. So you can round it off. So in this trade, my max loss would be 10, and I'm expecting a profit of say 30,000 if I am getting 1 is to 3 risk reward, and 20,000 if we get 1 is to 2 risk reward. So this is how, you have keep it simple, like should not make it complicated. Just use simple rules of position sizing. Now here, how this entire structure could work. Now here I have given at various success rate and various risk rewards how much a percentage return you can make on your capital. I always see stock market trading as a business. So like a business, you should know what would be your risk and what would be, likely target you will be able to achieve. And it's a business. So any business, say you are aiming 2-3% monthly return in normal business. So in market you could aim higher, but ultimately it has to be, boiled down to yearly how much return you are able to make. So say at 60% success rate and you achieve 1 is to 5 and you take only 10 trades in a month, you achieve 5% return on your capital. Now, if you improve your success rates, risk reward, say 1.5 to 2, so your return can go up from 5% to 8%. But now if your success rate is 50%, so you need at least 1 is to 1 risk reward to break even, and at 1.5 risk reward. So say you make 10,000 loss in every trade and 15,000 loss profit in every winning trade. So at that 50% success rate, you will be able to make 2.5%, and at 2% 2 risk reward, you can make 5% on your capital. So this calculation should be on your back of mind, and you should not expect abnormal returns from market. Just treat it as a business and see how much return it can generate. And at 50% success rate, and one is 0.5% risk reward. So for say 10,000 rupees loss and 5,000 rupees on winning trade, still you are losing only 2.5% on your capital. So you can control your drawdown this way. So this is the importance of money management. Now post trade analysis. You have to analyze your post trades, like, where you went wrong, what mistakes you committed, with the reason of success and failure. And end of the week and month, analyze the past record and see what improvements are needed and which patterns are working for you, where you are lacking, what changes you have to make in your process, what changes you have to make in your, analysis style. Is there anything you need to be changed in your process? So this will you will come to know only after, post trade analysis. Now, as you said, now we'll go to chart, to take a practical examples of this. I just show you something here. Yeah, just guys, before going to example, I want you to ask questions on these fundamental basics, and then we'll proceed to the examples, so that let's clear the doubt before this only. Just a second, give me 2 minutes. Yeah. Please show the position slide again. Yeah, I'll show it, once I finish the question and answer. Do we have to be stock specific or market trend also? Yeah, definitely we have to look at market trend. So as I said, daily you have to analyze index charts plus stock charts. So you know where broader market is going. Only then you will be able to see how stocks are performing. Not clear on SR RR part. Yeah, I'll cover that slide once again. Which trade works better for you, up or down? See, mostly uptrending stocks, when up moves are easy to catch, but they give lesser targets. But down moves, like breakdowns, they are so fast and furious, but they are difficult to catch because there are many false breakdowns. So down moves work better, but up moves are a little bit comparatively easy to catch. OI for long built up stocks. Oh yeah, that is open interest changes. I'll show you how to check OI changes and price changes on daily basis. I'll give you that Excel sheet. So manually you can go and look at just downloading Bhav copy, and you can see today how stocks have moved. Or there are many websites which are providing what are the OI built up and short built up and long built up. See which technical pattern is better if you can rank them. See, ranking wise, I'll rank ranges and triangles, and then wedges, and last one is sorry, then flag, and then wedges, because wedges are difficult to trade. Most difficult is wedges. So ranges and triangles, I find most favorable. Tips to identify patterns. Yeah, we'll look at the chart how I'm going to identify. Narrow range scan. Yeah, I'll be giving you that. See, this is the narrow range scan. Now, what we mean by narrow range is when uh, today's low. See, today's range means today's high minus low is less than previous all 6 days low. That is a narrow range day. That means volatility is compressed, very much compressed as compared to last 7 days. So that is the best scan. So if our today's range is lowest, range is high minus low. Today's range, if lower than past 7 days range, it is NR7. If today's range is lowest as compared to last 4 days range, it is NR4. So NR7 is for longer period, price is into particular range as compared to NR4. In case of rectangle pattern, it is see in case of rectangle pattern, it can go up or down anywhere. We have to wait which side breakout is happening, breakout or breakdown. What are the key things that gives you confidence that the pattern will play out? See, there are two things which I give importance to. One is what was the move before this pattern. Okay, that means if before this pattern stock was in good move uptrend and now this pattern is forming, so upside breakout will there is more probability of upside breakout. And second thing is when breakout happens, whether it's happening with a volume and good candle. So these are the two things which can give you the confidence. If 1 hour chart and 1 day chart shows the contradiction, which one to trust? See, I don't see there would be a contradiction because if hourly chart is what breakdown of a daily charts. So if hourly chart is showing a triangle, so it can't be any other pattern on daily chart. What screeners prefer to track these breakouts? I use two screeners. One is NR4, NR7, and second thing I use volume scanners, which I'll make one for you because I have a ready report from Python. So I'll make one volume scanner report for you guys, where major volume rise are happening. So you can go and look at those charts and how to deal fake outs. See, fake outs, just you can look at in what direction breakout is happening and how is the volume. These are the two things if you add that can give you some confidence. uh, and second thing is, otherwise stop loss is the savior in the fake outs. Yeah, sniper strategy, that will be covering in my second part. What is sniper? I shared one trade on Sun TV on Twitter. So I'll cover that in my second part, where I'll classify the stocks into bullish and bearish. I'll cover second part, so I'll cover Sun TV trade at that point of time. See, how many hours of practice you suggest daily for starter on charts? So daily, see, initially you have to start with even if you start with one chart now, that is enough. But gradually, you should keep on increasing your charts. So what I suggest, you start with index charts, Nifty, Bank Nifty, and then take a 3 to 4 stock charts. If you are very new, then after 5 days, you add another 5 charts. After 5 days, after 10 days, you add another 5 10 charts. So this way, you build up your capacity. So I scan almost 50 to 70 charts daily. And see, other advantage of manual scan, I tell you. Now, at back of the mind, there are many things, which register in your mind. If I look at 60 charts, so I know at back of the mind, which stock is where, how this which stock is performing. So that's why, I knew Sun TV. Like if I give Sun TV example, Sun TV, I knew it's a bullish stock. So when 6-7% move is happening on downside, I know it's, there is higher probability it could reverse. So I was ready at my level. So manual chart scanning will help you this way. Your scanners won't help you, to keep every chart at your mind. In rectangle pattern, it is likely to go up or down. How to take trade? See, whichever side, it's difficult to predict which side it will go. Only thing which can hint you is what was the previous trend. And after rectangle, whichever side it moves with volume, that side you can take a trade. See, high probability pattern, I say, is a rectangle and triangles, because these are the true range compressions. Even flags and wedges work better, but wedges are little difficult to trade, because what happens now, when wedges are what? Downtrending move with a compression. So when there is a prolonged downtrend in a stock, and when it gives an upside breakout, it's difficult to trade that, because many times it won't sustain, because higher time frame is in sell. And if it gives a down breakdown, because already stock has fallen so much, and it's that angle of fall is too sharp, so downside fall also difficult to trade. So wedges are difficult. I rank triangles and rectangles as high regards. To adjust my risk reward, says 3RR, can I change my entry price or follow 3 entry price instead of changing? There's no need to do that. See, you can definitely do that if you divide your initial entry into 3 parts. At breakout, you enter one tranche. After it sustains breakout, you enter second one, and so on. I suggest only keep 2 tranches. Someone is asking, can I divide my entry in 3 parts? I suggest do it in 2 parts only. Don't complicate it. You can do it. How to find a false breakout? For example, Sun Pharma gave a breakout above 540 level and it came down below 500. Now that thing, I'll remind me to cover Sun Pharma in second part. Why Sun Pharma breakout didn't sustain. So that I'll cover in second part. So I'll cover that. Yeah, this is a good question. As per your experience, at any one point of the time, how many open trades you have in market based on the strategy? So my rule is maximum I keep 3 trades open in this strategy. I don't know whether I have mentioned it here or not. Yeah, it's not mentioned. So maximum I keep 3 trades open as per this system. So if I'm in 3 trades and 4 trade I won't take, because at any point of time my given risk on my capital should not go beyond 2 to 3%. If my 3 trades are open, my risk is 1.5%. If I betting 0.5% of my capital, it's 3% if I betting on 1% on each trade. So it should not go beyond 3 trades. In example, you are given what is medium trend daily chart, and if the price has been sideways, does let's say 10 days, then also for volume and OI build up, do suggest some scanners. Yeah, I'll make scanner for you, because charting doesn't offer OI built up scanners. So price scanners I'll definitely give you, and definitely we'll interact for 1 month, where I'll be forming a group and post some live trades, live scans, live charts. We'll continue for 1 month at least. See, someone is asking 1 hour candle. See, if you're playing a positional, then 1 hour candle, not necessary, all the targets are achieved. Our targets are big. So 1 hour candle is also fine for positional trade. But intraday, as I say, use 15-minute candle, because intraday targets and moves are very fast. How to know the retest is not a false breakout? Now, as I told you, one additional confirmation of retest is when stock after giving a breakout is retesting its breakout level and again not entering inside the pattern and forming a bullish candle at a retest level, then only we'll enter that retest. Okay, so additional candle is the our confirmation. Also, when fall happen to the retest level, you have to see the volumes are not big. At lower volume it should happen from where exactly ascertain target in case of a triangle and the wedges pattern. I'll show you with example. Now in example I'll cover from where to exit the targets. I'll cover failure patterns also. For selling, what to choose, options or futures? Now my advice is never sell options in stocks. Reason is because option you if you select a monthly chart, monthly option, theta decay is very slow. Even if stock fall 10%, you will hardly get few percentage on your amount. So never short option. Ideal way, I'll cover. I have few slides on options also. I'll cover there. How I trade. So in stock, avoid trading. Selling options. Now retracement trade. I'll explain you. Now what do you mean by medium term trend? Medium term trend is if I'll show you on charts. How to see the medium term trend. During breakout, we have to see the cash volumes. No need to see the future volume. Cash volumes are enough. Yeah, trend. I'll show you how to identify the trend. My second part is more majorly on the trend. Where we'll bifurcate the stocks into bullish and I'll show you a few examples where your mind would be think like is it this easy to identify the which stock are bullish and which stock are bearish? At what time frame? So for trend identification, you have to see weekly or daily charts, and for pattern identification, you can see a hourly chart. Dr. Reddy gave a breakout due to Russia vaccine. See, Russia vaccine or whatever vaccine that is, we as a technical trader don't look at it. We have to just look at the breakout candle and the volume and the compression happened before that, right? See how to trade in index by using this same thing, same patterns will work in index also. So I'll share that with you also. I'll show the chart, but same patterns, everything is whether it is stock or index, it works. Can we use it for scalping? I don't do scalping much, but you can use it for scalping, but only trade in uptrending stocks which have given a breakout. And scalping you do on lower time frame, say 3 minute, 5 minute, and but I don't do it, so it's not right to say it. But many I've seen many people do it. They do it on 3 minute time frame, and on a on an intraday basis, on higher whenever swing high is taken out, they go long with previous swing low as a stop loss or that candle as a stop loss. So so scalping, one thing you have to keep in mind, your stop losses should be very small. Is it any relevance of the RSI or should we avoid RSI? See, RSI, I don't use indicators much, but RSI, if you use it, so as standard, don't use RSI as a high or low level. Use RSI as a trend indicator. So, for example, if RSI is above 60, so that can give you additional confirmation that stock is bullish. So then you can trade on definitely this on daily charts. So then you can trade the upside breakout if RSI is above 60. You can use that filter, but I don't use it. See, I'll show the NR7 example also. Just a second, I'll note it down. So when I come to charts, I'll show that NR7 example. Guys, I think now I should move it's to the presentation. If any further thing is there, then you can definitely ask. How to do sniper strategy? You have gave Sun TV. Yeah, I'll cover Sun TV trade. Don't worry. Yeah, charting URL, everything I'll share in group. We will be forming a group. Yeah. So sorry guys. Now I have to move on. Now let's move to examples. So I'll start with this first chart. Now see, I'll go to daily chart. Now till here, if I was looking few days back, can you see this stock is in uptrend? Okay, so this stock is in uptrend right now. I will go on hourly charts. So you'll forget few 3 days, 4 days, and see here what's happening. The stock is in uptrend. Up moves are very fast. If you can see here, I can spot a triangle. So how I draw a triangle? First thing, as I said, I'll remove everything. First, drawing a trend line from bottom part, from the lowest candle, connecting second this cluster. So try to connect, as many lines as possible. This is my trend line. So uptrending trend line is there. Now close here. Can you see here stock went into consolidation? So let me join few lines. 1, 2. I join 3 bottoms. So my bottom is flat. This is my first high, second high. If I try to join many lines, you can see here, this is a triangle. Now, how do I find a pattern? So go to the starting point of triangle, the closest one, So select this, this one. So on fourth panel, you will find this rectangle. Just draw this rectangle here, like this. And then just place cursor there and move it to the breakout zone. Can you see this breakout? Now here, first time this close out of this breakout. Now I know this is my entry level, and this is the candle which close above. Now you can see volume. It's with a decent volume. Now volume again started rising, after this retest of the trend line. But I can enter this level because volumes are, as compared to previous this one, volumes are good. And this is my target, correct? I achieve target within 2 days. Now again, this overall up is in uptrend. Can I join these two lines? And see, this line is already coming from down. So again, I can say it's a triangle. Compressing, this is wide and then it's compressing. How to find the target to this? See, this length might vary. Some people starts from here, some people starts from here. So that's not to worry. We just need approximate target, right? As you can see, even this target after this breakdown is achieved. So what we'll look for entry is a close below a trend line. This is a bearish candle. And you can see with this fall, volumes have started increasing. So here I can definitely enter with my stop loss as swing high. So we just calculate. I just for this one chart, it's going to take big time because I have to explain entire process. Okay. Now we'll go to this thing. Yeah. Say this date was 21st September. Tata Motor. Entry is 143. This is triangle, sell. Our target is 121.5. SL as per swing is 150. Okay. But as I said, we have to take 1/3 of our target. So our target is 21 rupees. 1/3 of that is 7. So we'll keep stop loss of 147 minus 7. So it's whichever is low. Oh, sorry. Plus 7. We are selling this. So 150. So as per swing high, target is 150. And here also target is 150. So easily we can keep stop loss of 150. Now after this move at around here, you can trail this to either cost, or you can trail for every 1 hour move. You can trail your stop loss with the move, and here target is achieved. You can book part profit here. That is entirely up to you. But idea is you should not exit below 1:2 risk reward. If you are risking 7 rupees or say 6 rupees, your target should be at least 14 rupees. Getting my point? Now here I don't spot any major pattern here. So there is no trade right now in this one. Now this is IndusInd Bank. So here the IndusInd Bank, you can spot here triangle. It was in compression. All the lows are almost similar, and previous trend was up. So upside breakout has sustained, and you can see how fast this was moving. So target this way. This was my target. So my entry candle. This would be my stop loss. I'll just enter just 1 or 2 trades. Then we won't waste time on this. So my entry candle was 549, 5 buy 549. Stop loss as per this is 528. 520. Sorry. 548, 530. My target is, you can see target here is quite big, 640. So 530 is target. Now my target as per my my stop loss, as per my target is target minus entry 91 divided by 30 divided by 3. So 30 rupees stop loss, but we are keeping stop loss of just 19 rupees. So fine, we no need to change stop loss. 130 stop loss is fine. So here when stop losses are smaller, your risk reward will go multifold. Now in this trade, if we are there till our target is achieved, say 640, 640 minus this, so we achieve say 90 rupees. Our stop loss was 530 minus this 19. So risk reward is 1 is to 4.5. Correct. And we can spot here, we can see a two lows. If I join this, and here there are multiple highs. We can say this was in compression or in rectangle compression. Now here it broke down at this candle. Now you are intraday player. I said on intraday it's a 15-minute chart you have to see. So you get entry over here, but on hourly chart you get entry over here. So depend, what kind of position you are taking. Accordingly, you can take an entry. So here also our process would be same. So this target was achieved here. So this is where measured move. Why measured move? We measure our target and then we take entry and we hold the trade. So that's the reason of knowing the target. Just go to Jindal Steel. Now this could be, you can see in this is, I'll change it to hourly. Can you see it? Two lows, and this is in range. Now this is forming a rectangle, live rectangle, which can be trade in next few days. I'll enter this last trade, today's date. Jindal Steel, CMP is 175. Say we don't know buy or sell because I don't know which side it will break out. So say entry is 181.35. Say buy entry, example. So my target would be, you know how to draw the target, right? 203. And say it reverse from here. So my swing low is 173. And now I'll show you how we calculate the quantity. Say you are risking 5,000 on this trade, which is 1% of 5,000, 1% of 5 lakh capital. Your quantity would be 5,000 divided by your stop loss. So 600 quantity. Now we'll see 1/3 of target. So our stop loss should be not more than 7 rupees. So revised stop loss is 714 and 715 is our quantity. Get my point? Now let's see a few more examples. Let me look at the false breakdown also. Yeah. Yeah. Can you see a rectangle forming? These two lows and these two highs. Now this gave a breakout here. Now see volumes. Volumes are also decent in last 3 candles. And it gave follow up also. Still, this didn't sustain. So we can't help it. These are part and parcel of a trading process. Now this entire rectangle is changed. So we have to cover this one part. Now this you can see as next breakout. This didn't achieve full target, but at least it moved. Yeah, you can see achieve 2/3 target. Now again here, we can see the rectangle. This gave a lower breakdown. You can see this wick is high, but this closed here. So we can take entry here, and this achieve comfortable you know, now what happened in last 3 days is all the chart, downtrending because of these 2 days fall. So I am not able to spot, any live pattern. You have just seen Jindal Steel, and in Dr. Reddy there is some live pattern. I'll come to it. Again, TCS, two tops and two bottoms. If you connect rectangle, breakdown, achieve the target. And you can see here with at breakdown, this volumes is not very high, but it's on rising. Yeah. Now this one is again a false breakdown. Just dial, just broke down, and then hit the stop loss. This was Infosys trade, same triangle formation, and you can see it went till high. Now is it forming any pattern over here? No, I can't spot any triangle or rectangle or anything. But see, it's downtrending, so let's wait. Now this was SBI, or consolidating in this range for longer time, and then finally broke out, achieved target, came back, false breakdown. Now here it gave a convincing breakdown, and then see exactly it came till target. Yeah. In BPCL recently there was a this range breakdown. On Reliance. As I told you, I start with a daily time frame. Now what daily time frame is saying is this stock is uptrending, and now after this consolidation it moved out, now again coming down as a wedge. This is an example of wedge. So this bullish stock we can take a long trade once it crosses this level. Now Reliance could be next. Let me move it up a bit. Yeah, so this could be a live trade. So Tata Motor, sorry, Jindal Steel, Reliance, and Dr. Reddy, they can give us entry in next few days. Now Dr. Reddy. Now why looking at charts give you more conviction is you can see this up move and price got accepted here. Now after such a big move, normally if this is fake move, price normally correct, but prices are not correcting, and they are consolidating in this range. Then again up move, again small down move, and then again up move. What this says is acceptance at a higher level. So these moves are not fake. Now again in live price market is it's forming a triangle, and we can see a breakout maybe 1 or 2 days. So let's wait. Now see previous move, this was a strong up move. So I avoid downward breakdown in this one. We can also spot a gap over here. So better to play upside move in this. Now Maruti. Now Maruti, after forming this triangle, moving in a range, after one breakdown, false breakdown, then second breakdown, achieve the target. Now it's forming it gave a triangle, a small triangle, but I'll avoid it because previous move was down. So let's see if it sustains, in this range, then only I'll take a trade. Otherwise, I'll avoid it. Now, as I told you, see these patterns, same patterns will work in Nifty also. Now see here, but Nifty, I'll suggest you play on lower time frame because moves are not that big many times. So we need to catch it early. Can you see this? Now here it broke down from a triangle, and I'll go to this first one where top is connecting, and this was a target, and target achieved in just 3 candles. Can you see a wedge formation? So target is coming from here. This breakout did not achieve full target, but at least went till here. Now can you see again one more triangle here approximately, and see our 21st September breakdown here. So why this is important doing, because no indicator will give you signal of sell here, but here we know okay, by this is coming out of some range from a triangle. So it got a target till quite low. So this was a range of 11,430 to 11,220. So almost 200 points. Now can you spot one more pattern here? This is flag. So flag target is how we achieve it. From starting point till low, add this to the breakdown level. And can you see the magic? Even this target is achieved. Now obviously there were hiccups in between, but as you know the target, so as someone was asking me scalping, so if you know your target is still here, on downside you can definitely do the scalping. And as per my second system, from here only market was not bullish. I'll show you how I got it. I see this is the beauty of following a simple thing and manual observation. Can you see this? Because you're in this sideways move, if you follow an indicator, it will give you many buy and sell signals, and you will be totally chip chop. So it's better to follow, observe it manually. Just see here, Bank Nifty rectangle breakdown and achieve target. Now here you can see this is another pattern, broadening triangle, which I don't trade because this is a little bit difficult to trade. So this way, after mastering basic patterns, you can definitely add, advanced level patterns and many, other things in price action. But start with simple thing, master it, and just proceed forward. So I think these examples are enough. If needed and time permits, in end we can take it, more example. And anyway, will be part of the groups, for 1 month. So definitely, I'll share live examples and live, these things. Now I'll move to second part of presentation. We have already seen this Excel sheet plus charts. So now I like you guys to do one exercise, like make a habit to analyze minimum 5 charts daily plus 2 index charts. At least if you do for do analyze historical charts and try to spot the historically when the pattern has happened, how it achieved the target. Forget about entry part, just first focus on identifying the patterns historically, how these triangles, rectangles, how they are formed, how they achieve the target, and in what time span they achieve the target, and how quickly they achieve the target. And you will be amazed after seeing the result after 30 days. You have to do this for 30 days. See, anything you make a habit and make training, this exercise is to train your eyes to spot these patterns. If you do this exercise, then only you'll be able to spot the patterns. Now, purpose of this exercise is to train your eyes and spot the patterns easily. Now, this is just, I said this on Twitter also. This is how, simple triangle channels, I used to, I draw on this nifty chart. Just see here, wedge, triangle, 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 channel, breakdown, triangle, breakout. Just see, ratio of failures to the success. It's, quite high in nifty. Even if, spots, very few patterns, but important is the success rate. You can see major of the these patterns have achieved the targets. So with this, I'll finish my first pattern. Uh, this was the just a chart pattern, entry, exit, everything. So key here is your identification of pattern. Entry, exit, you can use anything. As I said, also you can use any indicator also. But important is identifying a pattern and knowing the target. Then only you will get a conviction. So practice this. If any anywhere stuck, any help is required, you can contact me anytime. Now, as I already shared, now I'll move to my second pattern. It's about the trading process. Now, what we need is good risk reward. So on a chart, you have to find such a zone where we can enter with a minimal stop loss, where a stop loss is minimum and chances of success are higher. Anyway, higher success rate is not in our hand. So what we can do, max we can do is stock selection. So find a stock which are outperforming and go long in those, and underperforming stock you can do use for shorting. So this is the only way you can increase your success rate. Now, if you do it at a right time, like when at the time of breakout and your targets are achieved quickly, so you are out of the trade quickly and you are ready for the next trade. So it's important, third factor, time is very important for a short-term trader or a momentum trader. Okay, finding right time when momentum is starting and then only you enter. So that's why, we identify a compression. Now, second pattern, which, I just do some built up work here. Now, this is Reliance chart. Can you spot these lows here and the bounce from there? Now, if you see just chart, so you can spot a rectangle here, obviously, but there is no breakout has happened from this or breakdown happened over here. And after this low is broken, you can see a fall. Obviously, this is rectangle, but I'm not talking about rectangle. I'm talking about a level. This low, the low mark, there is some significance of this level. It took too many support at this level. Now, why? What is the reason? Now look at this chart. The part marked in red, zone marked in red, is a downfall which started in March, and post that uptrend started in May. You will spot many patterns over here and then break out of those patterns. But this zone, what is the significance of this zone, and why red zone is identified as sell side and a green zone is identified as a buy side? So now look at third thing. Now Z, when was in red zone, it was bearish, it was not moving, and when it moved into green zone, it started giving a big spikes. You can see the upside, blue color candles. These are bigger ones, then small red candles, and then again move up. So what is significance of this zone? Like in this zone, stock moved from 170 to 220, but in red zone, it was in from 180 to 130. Look at India Bull Housing Finance. This is just before this September. During September only, this is hourly chart. Stock fell from 200 rupees to 155. What is differentiating? Can any system can keep you out of these bad stocks? This stock moved from 200 to 155. Okay. So this is the thing, I was talking about trading like a sniper. Like always begin with why, and then how will follow itself. What I mean by this is always begin like I posed you questions. How you differentiate between these red zones. and green zone. Is there any indicator which can tell you, okay, during this fall it is bearish and this rise it was bullish? Was there any indicator which was telling you? So I started with how, what is the thing which can give me signal of this redness and this green zone? What can give me, tell me at 2 and 190 or 195 level what was, don't be in this stock, don't go long in this stock. Is there anything which can tell me? So answer to this, again is, it's not an indicator. It's again price. Price is the only thing which can, tell you at much advanced stage. Like maybe say RSI or MACD. MACD will give you a sell signal, much later date, or any other indicator. Price is the only thing, which can give you the early signals. So now question comes is, what is indicator, which is close to price? So how you can trade with a trend like going long in long stocks and going short in weak stocks? So let's go to the back to basics. I've already covered this part, I think. Now, what is best entry? I think success rate, risk reward, time, we already covered. So we find levels which offer the maximum risk reward and level where risk reward is minimal to enter the trade. Now, best entry level would be where the cost of going wrong is less and probability of going right is higher. So here, then finally, I arrived at the pivot point system. Like pivot point, you have seen it's in the market since long. It's a very basic thing. Like what is pivot point? Say if daily pivot point is what? High, low, close, previously high, low, close. If you divide by 3, so that is the average range or average level for the previous day, which is applied on next day. So it's very simple. Many people plot it, but there is one difference is, how you use it. If you use it on daily, it's, it will give you so many signal and so many, chip chop, and that is very confusing. So what I did is I moved to higher levels and did some testing. So same calculation. So higher level, if you go on weekly and monthly charts, so for monthly levels, you go to previous month, open, high, low, close, divide by 3 of previous month is your pivot point. And then there are formulas for R1. There are many levels in pivot point. So pivot point, R1 is above the pivot point, which is resistance level. S1 is below the pivot level, which is support level. R2 is again above the R1, and S2 is below the S1, and so on for R3 and S3. So if you do it on the higher time frame, it will give you beautiful levels or maybe beautiful view on the stock. We'll just see on the example chart. Now that dual purpose of these levels. One is forming a view on the stock, and second thing, it will give you important levels for exit, entry, and stop loss. Now, signification of this level is levels serve as an important support and resistance. Higher time frame levels definitely serves an important support, and you can gauge the aggressiveness of the buyers and sellers at important levels via candlestick. Now, what is important mean? What does this mean? I'll go to few slides. Now we'll go level by level. So I use higher time frame pivots, which is monthly and weekly pivots. Now formula is same for both, and similarly for weekly data also formula is same, but it is applied on previous week's open, high, low, close and used in the next week. And for whole month, these levels remain static. Okay, so so for monthly pivot for whole month, these levels will remain static, and for weekly pivots, these levels will remain static for entire next week. Now, as I asked 3-4 questions before starting this system, so does it provide a good level where risk reward is higher? Now see here, Reliance. So Reliance was in uptrend. It took too many supports here. We've already seen this slide. Now, why it took support over here? Let's see this. Can you see here? After this was the R2 monthly R2 level for the Reliance. It broke out this level, and as you can see, it took one, two, three to four supports at this level and gave a bounce. And once it closed below this S2 R2 level, you can see the fall. And again, it took support around monthly level. So this was the logic of this, support. Now, can it differentiate between the bullish stock and bearish stocks, or bullish period and bearish period in the same stock? Now, I've given this example, Maruti. See this red zone and see this green zone. Now, difference of this was its monthly pivot. These blue lines marked on chart are monthly pivot levels. As you can see here, in February only, this stock closed below its monthly level. And from then, since then, it never went above monthly level. And you can see it gave few spikes up, but overall trend was down only. And ultimately, it came here above monthly level, again went down. And why this green zone was bullish zone was it never came below monthly pivot point for these 4 months. You can see 4 months uptrend, it never went below the monthly pivot. So just this simple line, can save you from bad period. Like here, you can avoid taking long in Maruti. So I classify stock which is below monthly pivot is, not a bullish, and stock above monthly is a bullish stock. So this way it can, differentiate bullish and bearish period in same stock. Now let's see why Z was behaving this way below 170 level and above 170 level. See here. Now in July, entire month till August mid part, the stock was below monthly pivot. So it was going down only, slowly going down. Then see the level it took support. It took support at S1 level. So this is the significance of these levels. See, we ignore pivot levels because it's long, many people using it. But just if you, change your perspective of looking at things, result may change. And from August, you can see with this candle, it moved above pivot level. So it came to bullish zone, and above R1, it started, giving a bigger spikes. So after, monthly R1 is crossed, stock gave, major move. Now, what can save you from stocks like India Bulls? This stock from 200 to 155. So again, answer is pivot. You can see here on 3rd August, it came below pivot, convincingly closed below, going down. Again, tried to go above it 2 times, never, able to go above it. Then again came down. Now see the result after S1 breakdown. Can you see? So what we can conclude is above pivot level, stock is bullish, and once it crosses R1 level, it catches the momentum. Getting my point? Now we'll try to, if you will find it a bit difficult to understand, but let me simplify it by doing in layer by layer. Okay. Now first layer of understanding. So layer 1 is defining bullish and bearish stocks. So which are stocks which are bullish? So bullish stocks are stocks which are above pivot point, let it monthly or weekly, those are bullish stocks. And stock which are below pivot point are bearish stocks. So this is layer 1 of understanding. Let's see on chart. Now this is IndusInd Bank chart. Can you see here before July, this blue line is pivot point. So when price is above pivot, it's, spike on upside is stronger. Momentum is on upside. Now next month, this stock is above pivot point, and you can see upside it gave few spikes or few momentum moves. And you can see here triangle also. Okay, so above pivot level triangle is giving good result, you can see. Now see this in August month, in July month it was bullish. In August month it closed, started the month below pivot level only. So it was not moving at all in first 20 days. Now in last 10 days it closed above pivot point, monthly pivot point, and see the move after that. I'm not saying this move started after pivot, but idea is in this zone you are not long. This is not a bullish stock till it's below pivot point. So after monthly pivot crossing only you have to look at bullish as per this system. Okay. Now see here in September what happened. Stock started the month with above monthly pivot, but this was not moving anywhere. And see here, once it closed down the monthly level, monthly pivot level, see the move. So here, so below this level, below monthly pivot, you should not be long in the stock as per this system. You can see here. You have to play level to level. So it can save you from this fall if you follow this simple level. Now see this Nifty chart. Now Nifty in Feb only giving the signal of bearishness. You can see from 12th, 10th or 12th Feb, it was not able to sustain above monthly pivot. It tried one or two times, but again, it closed down here and see the move below. Now this is totally bearish. And June, March month, it started with bearish only. It opened below the monthly pivot because this level will change every month. So now this pivot is average of Feb month. Okay, so this pivot level is 11,300 or 400. Month opened below it only, and you can see it form on daily, on hourly it formed a triangle here. I can show you this on chart. Just give me 2 minutes. This need to be seen. I'll go to hourly chart and I'll go to March month. Yeah, here. I'll plot monthly pivot here. So you can see this blue line is monthly pivot. Now stock is below monthly level and see what it's doing. It's in compression. Now what happened here is it opened gap down only. It tested rectangle and then came down. So if you follow the monthly pivot system, below this level, you need not be long in the stock, right? So you can be saved by this fall. Sorry. I hope you guys are getting it. Okay. And now look at this June month, since when recovery started. Not a single time it closed, any daily candle closed below the monthly pivot. So definitely trend was up. Now in September, first time it closed below monthly pivot, went up again and again closed below. So at 11,200 you need to be bearish, so you can be saved since last 3 days fall. Getting my point? So it just give you a bias. See, for trading in market you need to be a bias or some kind of forcing this system that that gives you, that keep you away from these kind of bad moves. So this was layer one. Now again see here Nifty daily chart. You already seen below monthly pivot how it behaved. So this was layer one, that above monthly pivot or weekly pivot it is bullish, below pivot it is bearish. Now let's understand the layer two. Now layer two is we have to identify when stock picks the momentum. See, bullishness is one thing and momentum is the speed of rise. Bullishness, stock is going up, but in momentum stock picks up the speed. Okay, so I'll say the two levels, other levels in pivot are R1 and S1. So R1 is above the pivot level. Now R1, when price is above R1 level, it is bullish. When price is below S1 level, so see, above pivot price is bullish. When it crosses R1 level, it catches the momentum. When price below pivot, it is bearish. And when it crosses S1 level, it picks the momentum on downside. It becomes ultra bearish. I'll show you the chart. Now see here, as induction I have shown you above pivot, and see the moment it cross R1, you can see the momentum. Okay. Now here on bearish side also, pivot level, below pivot it was bearish, slowly going down, and below S1, it it caught the momentum. Can you spot the difference? So here above pivot it became bullish, but actual momentum started after R1. Here below pivot it became bearish, but actual momentum, major momentum started after the S1. Okay. Same is with Tata Motors. See here, stock was here below pivot, so bearish. Now below R1, see March month was different, so I won't give say it was this thing, but still it's there on chart. So March month was totally different, but you can see here in recovery part, in June it closed the month, this close above the R1, and see the momentum again came down, took support at R1, form bullish candle, and see the move. Now July month, entire month this was in the range between P1 and R1. So some spikes up, down, up, down. Now see here in August, it started the month above R1 only. So entire month this was in bullish zone. Again September month above pivot, bullish, but sideways. Now in September here, after 16, it broke below pivot point. So now it's already, I think, tested S1 level. I'll show you on chart. Right. So here momentum, and this one is below pivot, so bearish. So till it doesn't come above this monthly pivot, we will be bearish on this stock. You can see it historically also. Now see, this is October 19. Price went above and then started the momentum. It was always sideways. It was not giving major big moves because never crossed R1. Right? Just first only it crossed S1 and see the move. So entire these few months were bullish, but sideways bullish. Now see here, this is 11 July. This major candle, it broke below pivot point, and then see here below S1 and see the move from 11,500 to 11,100. And actual rally started only after it closed above this with this candle, 20th September candle. It moved above the pivot point, right? This entire month this was sideways because below pivot and in S1. So this is how you play. I play level to level. Go back to presentation. Now see, this is Jindal Steel. This is last November above R1, and this entire rally was above R1. So stock moved from 120 to 180. Again March, it closed below S1, 164 to 70 rupees. Now if you can observe from April, May month onwards, May month it closed above pivot point, closed R1 and caught the momentum. Above R1, momentum. Above pivot. Six, stock has been went from 80 level to 240 level, so nearly 3 times return. Okay, but it's never closed below pivot point. So that was the bullishness this stock has shown. So this can keep us area par, either bullish side or bearish side. Now September month it came below pivot point, so bearishness started and momentum started picking up below S1. Can you see this? So this can you save out of lot of trouble, you know. Now here, you know, layer 2 is momentum. First layer was bullish or bearish. Second layer was when it catch the momentum. Now third layer I'll say is multi-time frame analysis. Here I'll combine both monthly and weekly pivots and see, you know, what results we get. Now I'll classify bullish stock as stock which is above the monthly level and above the weekly pivot point is a bullish stock for me. Stock which is below the monthly pivot and below the weekly pivot is bearish stock for me. Now third category now is where stock is above monthly pivot but below weekly pivot and below weekly monthly pivot and above weekly pivot. So these two categories are consolidating. So there, you know, neither bullish nor bearish, but consolidating with you know, biasness, few biases, which we'll discuss later. Stock above monthly pivot and below weekly pivot, and stock below monthly pivot point and above weekly pivot point. So that is consolidating stock. Now see this. Now in this layer, we can see here, blue line is monthly pivot and green line is weekly pivot. Now see, first red part in this pivot point, this slide is, this was March month when stock closed below monthly pivot and weekly pivot both. That means it became bearish for us in next month, next week also. It's below monthly pivot and weekly pivot. Now next week also, its monthly pivot is quite far. This is below weekly pivot. You can see it never crossed weekly pivot point and never monthly pivot to quite far. It continued sliding. Now can you see here, first time in May it closed above both the levels, monthly and weekly pivot, and you can see the green part which was, you know, up move. Again in May it closed below monthly and weekly both the pivot and see some downfall. Again June it started, you know, upward journey by closing above monthly and weekly both and see the green zone, this bullishness. Then again here in July, you can see July here above pivot and above weekly pivot. It moved here and see this green zone. Slowly it went up. Now here in August start, it was sideways because above monthly but below weekly. So once it crossed weekly also, the up move started. Now very important is our September month. Now if you can see in September 10th or 12th, 9th or 10th, it moved below monthly and weekly pivot both. So at this point it gave a signal, now I am bearish on both the time frame. So you need not be long in Nifty and see the move after that. Within 3-4 days, it slide like anything. So this is our third level where we combine both the time frame. Now layer 4. Now here, can this level act as an important support and resistance level or not? So what I've done, one is single level, like important levels like monthly pivot, monthly S1, monthly R1, or weekly pivots or weekly S1 R1. Can they act as a good support or resistance or not? Then multiple level. If at same level there is monthly pivot plus weekly pivot, or say monthly pivot plus weekly R1. So at same level, if levels from different time frame are converging, so can it act as an important support level or not? So now key is at these levels you can trade. Now important is at this level is you can trade with a very small stop loss. So RR is definitely going to improve. But idea is you have to identify a level, where these levels are converging or important levels. Now see here. Now can you see here? This stock is Tata TCS. Now stock gave a breakout here above R1 and moved, and then it corrected and again tested R1 level. We can see here and formed a hammer kind of pattern on R1. Can we see it taking support at R1 level? So R1 level is acting as a strong support. Then again in August month, stock, see the way it taking support at pivot, it hardly any time closed below the pivot point. It was always consolidating above the pivot point. So which acted as a strong support here. Now again in September month, can you see it broke above the monthly R1 level and see the move. So breakout above these levels or supports above this level are also important. They are working. Now let's see the multi-pivot support or resistance levels. Now this is same eye bull chart which I have shown. Can you see why it was, at 204 it was sell. It was below monthly and daily pivot both. So it was in sell zone. Now whatever spikes upside are coming, it was taking resistance at monthly and weekly uh, that converge at the same level. This convergence of levels, and see it fell down from this level. Now again next month also this was a blue is monthly pivot and green is weekly pivot. It is below both the pivot lines, and once it closed below the monthly weekly S1, see the slide and see the support, minor support it took at monthly S1, but when it broke monthly S1, then see the slide, and again weekly S1. So these levels, they can give you a very small. So pivot will give you the bias. So if it's below both the pivot line, it is bearish. So any breakdown below weekly S1 level, you can take a short trade there, right? You can see here it hardly gave any retracement and see the move. So this level can act as a support resistance. So you can trade support trade also and breakout trades also from these levels, which we'll see in our setups. Now I'll just summarize this portion. When price is now there is one bullish zone, means when price is above monthly pivot and price is above weekly pivot, it is a bullish price in bullish zone. Now along with this, if price is above monthly R1 or weekly R1, then it catches a bullish, it's in momentum zone, bullish momentum zone, which it will catch a momentum. Now bearish zone is when price is below both the pivot, monthly as well as weekly, it is bearish. Now when it will catch the momentum, it will catch momentum when either it will break down the monthly S1 or weekly S1. So when it will break down any of these two, it will catch the momentum on downside. Now there are two sideways zones where a price is above one level and below one level. So it is between, when price is between two levels, monthly pivot, weekly pivot, it is a sideways zone. But momentum zones I have told you. Now before moving to pattern, I would like you to take few questions over here. Yeah, you can type questions. Just give it 2 minutes. 2 minutes break. Yeah, sorry guys. Let's continue. Now, how to plot the pivot? I'll show you that. Plotting pivot points. I'll cover that. Trailing part I will also cover. Trailing part, as I told you, you can trail. I'll show it in Excel. You know how trailing should work. Can you see this? See my entry is say 100. My stop loss is 95, and my target is 110. So here my I'll take it. Here my risk is 3 rupees. My profit is 10 rupees, and my SL is my target is 7 rupees. No, sorry. My target is 10 rupees. Stop loss is 3 rupees. So I'm expecting a risk reward of 1:3 in that this trade. So my initial stop loss is 93, 97, sorry. Now whenever this price moves to say 103, which is my 3 rupees risk, whenever price moves to 103, I can trail my stop loss by 3 rupees. So my revised stop loss is 100 rupees. Now say when price reaches 106 to 1, so here I am in profit by 1 hour. So here I'll be profit by 2 hour. Here you can trail your stop loss by another 3 rupees and you come to 103. So always you can keep on trailing this way stop loss. So you can lock in your profit also, and you can lock in your, you can reduce your losses also. Yeah, in pivot system, we are going to discuss the entry exit thing. I'll cover the stop loss part also. Sun for my example, why? Now I'll cover the two example which I gave, in this thing. One is Sun TV. Now on this day I took a trade. Now can you see this? This stock is above pivot, so definitely bullish. Now I'll plot weekly pivot on this. So there is one setup where stock is above pivot, monthly pivot, and when it tests weekly S1 level, can you see here? It just touch and go. You won't believe that they just in 3 minutes, my target, my trade was over. I exited at this pivot level. Reason was, I'll show you on intraday charts. Yeah, this is the level. See this. This was monthly above pivot. So stock was bullish. Now when it tested weekly S1, so it acted as a support, and I entered exactly over here. and then here my target was achieved. Can you see here? Showing one more example of multi-level supports. Now at this level here, there is monthly pivot as well as weekly S2. Stock is not bullish as per weekly level, but still it took support from here. So these are small bounce trades. Now can you see here multi levels R1 and weekly R1 and monthly R1? How stock took resistance at there and then fell to till weekly S1. Now again here it took resistance at both the levels. So this way, these levels work like magic many a times. Now I'll show you Sun TV. Why all pharma baskets moved, but Sun Pharma didn't move. Reason was Sun Pharma entire month. I'll just hide the weekly levels here. Sun Pharma never went above the monthly pivot level. You can see here. It never went, above the monthly pivot. So it was never a bullish. Now I'll plot weekly levels. Now at this level, it closed weekly above pivot. So now for this zone, it was below monthly, but above weekly. So it moved a bit, but again took resistance at monthly pivot. So it could not move. This was the only reason, Sun Pharma was not along. If you look at other pharma stocks, Dr. Reddy. So this way, now look at the Dr. Reddy's move. Can you see here? At this point, it came above monthly pivot and weekly pivot both. And this zone, it closed above the monthly R1. So when momentum starts above R1, so stock is bullish. Yes. When stock caught the momentum from here, and just see the move. Now again, it taking support at weekly pivot. Above monthly pivot, so bullish. Above weekly pivot, bullish. Yes. And it forming a triangle here. So that's why I said, in Dr. Reddy, I can take a trade. Now, once with experience, you can combine, many your knowledge, and you can arrive at the conclusion. Now, see one more. Now, let's look at why banking is not performing, and Dr. Reddy is performing. Correct? I'll take SBI. So there are too many levels, so I'll just hide few levels. Can you see here at 212? It broke monthly pivot and weekly pivot both. Now this zone, it is below monthly and weekly pivot both. So what is the view on this stock? Bearish. Can you see this fall? Okay. Now see next layer. Can you see here when it's broke monthly S1 and kept on sliding? Now up below weekly S1 also. So there is no way you can go long in this stock. Any moment. We can see one more stock. Axis. Now see Lupin. So this will, this simple thing will differentiate between the bullish stock and bearish stock. See, intermittent volatility is different thing, but first we need to form a view on stock, right? Now here it crossed. Can you see here support on S1? Here it crossed above monthly and weekly pivot both. So it became bullish. Now from this level, it crossed weekly R1 also. So momentum started, and see this gap up exactly at R2 and then down. Now here, Why Dr. Reddy is still bullish? Because it is above both the levels. Now this stock came below, weekly pivot and above monthly. So this is sideways, correct? So one setup like, at S1 support we can buy. So we can do some small buying here, but this is sideways stock because it's between both the pivot levels. Now this is just guys, this see, entry exit is different thing. Just understand as a concept. Okay, how these stocks behave. You can just see the history. Now see here, this stock was bearish till it never closed above monthly pivot. Here took support at S1. Now once it closed above monthly, weekly both, this is giving up spikes. You see this big move up. Now again here above monthly pivot but below weekly, so not going anywhere, it's consolidating. Real momentum started after this. So if I tell you, real momentum is above R1 levels. Weekly R1, real momentum, provided stock is above monthly pivot. Monthly R1, real momentum. So now you got the zone where real momentum starts. Where you should do the scalping, where you're going, your stop loss will be very small. Okay, this let's see. Is there any significance of previous and untested pivots S1 R1 coming in the way of momentum moves? See, there is significance. You have to check the how stock behaves at that point. So we just look at, see, as you can see, this rally started from weekly R1, went till weekly R2, and this is a decent move. So definitely here you should look at booking profit. Correct. It definitely it got a significance. Can we use option trading for pivot points? It is good to use pivot point system for intraday trades. Yes, intraday trades, definitely you can trade pivot points, but as I told you, classify stocks on the basis of monthly and weekly pivots, then trade intraday on bullish stocks, long trades intraday bullish stocks, and short trades on bearish stocks. So definitely you can trade. Sun TV I already explained. Will the link of group be shared here or through the email? I think I'll check with Elon Market guys. They will be able to share link with you because I don't have contacts. So group is yet to be formed. So I'll form it and then we'll inform you. Should we consider R1 S1 or week? Yes, weekly R1 S1 also has to be considered. I know there are so many levels, but gradually you should start with one layer. Understand? Yeah, it is above monthly. Then you plot the different. It's above weekly also. Yes, so it's in bullish zone. I'll show you Excel also. Where I classify these stocks. Why did you take trade in Sun Pharma next week also? No, I did not take trade in Sun Pharma because it was not in long. So that's why there was no reason taking trade in Sun Pharma. See, this never crossed monthly pivot. Getting my point? So this stock never become bullish here. When all the pharma basket was moving up, this stock was not even above the monthly pivot. So that was not bullish stock for me. Sir, can we use CPR on trading view to get these levels pivots which have the monthly weekly pivots? Yeah, you can use on trading view. Yeah, for intraday 15 minutes chart you should look at. That's the ideal chart for intraday. I'm not using Pine script here. This is simple. Now I'll show you how to plot these pivot points. Just 1 second. No, plotting these pivot points is easy. I'll just remove this. You have to go here on function, search for pivot point. Pivot point standard you have to select. Now you'll get many lines. So go into settings. Instead of auto, you do monthly first. And in style, you hide all other 3, 4, 5. Just keep P1, S1, R1. Now you change the color to blue for monthly, so you can easily identify which level it is, and increase the width. Even monthly S1 you can hide. So I have plotted monthly chart, monthly pivots. Now I'll plot weekly. Again, same process. Pivot point, standard, go here. In time frame, you select weekly. In style, hide S3, S4, S5. Change color for this to green, dark green. Increase the width. Again, second layer and third layer. Okay, this is the way to plot. Now you save this, as a pivot. So this template will stay with you. Okay, this is the way we use the pivot. In FNO stock, we don't have choice to decide quantity. In this case, yeah. So traders who trading in small quantities where their size is not as per FNO, I suggest them you take only long trades, and short trade you can take intraday. Getting my point? So you can cover it at the end of the day in small quantities. And positional trade, you can take only long trades. Yes, pivot point you can use on intraday. Like my Sun Pharma trade was intraday trade only. It tested that level. Stock was bullish. So while reversing, I took a long trade. Many types stop loss is not triggered. So how to deal with the kind of situation? Also, event like COVID or sudden new fall or rise in market. See, this is the level, like pivot system is made for that only. In COVID, in March only, this system told you that I am below both monthly and weekly pivot. So I am not in long zone. Okay. So you don't look for long trades. Pivot point, I already shown combined pivot with pattern or not. See, normally, initially, you keep this system separately. Okay. Now, once you get you are not trained properly, or you get a expertise, then you can combine them. Okay. I'll show you in our Telegram group how to do it. Only after pivot traditionally weekly 45 or pivot traditionally weekly 15. No, this 45 or 15 is not a this part of the indicator. It is just for how many days backward you want to plot. So 14, 15 doesn't make any difference. You see, pivot is standard. Pivot got a standard formula. There is no this thing. Only thing you have to change is whether you want to see weekly pivot, monthly pivot, or daily pivot. See, which trade works better for you, intraday or positional? See, for me, better works is positional, because in positional, I can trade in options with hedging and all, and intraday also good. But intraday, see, I tell you, intraday is very skilled process. You need to be very sharp and very fast moving, and that's why you need to develop expertise to be intraday. So I suggest start with positional and then gradually move to intraday. Option slide, I will cover in last part. See, Camarilla pivot can also be used. Camarilla pivot can also be used, but it's not part of today's presentation. If you want to learn, I can definitely share in the group. I have how Camarilla pivot works, and I'll share that in the group. Don't worry. Just someone remind me after we form a group. Okay. Can we scan for pivot? Yes, we can definitely scan. Let me figure out the way to do it in charting. After this session, I told you I will form a group. I think major questions are covered. I'll move to now pattern part, as we are running behind the schedule. Any questions left out, please you can ask me afterwards or in the group. I've already covered the summary. Now pattern here is, one is breakout pattern. How you take a bullish trade is, price is above monthly and weekly pivot both. That means stock is bullish. Sorry, yeah. Price is above monthly and weekly are layer 1. That means stock is bullish. Stock is breaking out any pivot point, monthly R1 or weekly R1 or R2, and stock has shown a strong up move before the breakout. So this move is strong with decent volume. Okay, so we can take a long trade. Now one more condition here is, I use one indicator here, super trend, and this is 7-3. Now what is super trend? Now super trend is an indicator which is plotted on price. Many people know, you would be knowing, but let me still explain. Super trend is an indicator which is plotted on price, and this indicators covers last, say, whatever time period you give. So here I have given 7, so it will cover last 7 candles. Okay, ATR of last 7 candles, and it will add a markup of 3. So this is some technical formula, but idea behind is, last 7 candles, how the range of the price move is, and adding some markup to it. So it will plot above or below the price. Now if price is above the super trend indicator, it is bullish. Price is below the super trend indicator, it is bearish. So our setup will work like this way. Price is above monthly weekly pivot, price is crossing any particular level above it, R1 or R2. Price in strong up move, price is moving up with a good volume and strongly, and price is above 15-minute super trend indicator. Now if these conditions are satisfied, when to buy? On a 15-minute or hourly chart. So I suggest 15-minute you only keep. 15-minute chart candle closes above the breakout level. We need a close above the breakout level, and stop loss we'll keep is super trend on 15-minute chart, the same super trend which we use here. Now I'll show you on chart how it will work. Can you see here? Price is, this blue line is monthly pivot, this green line is weekly pivot. Price is above the both the pivot, monthly and weekly as well. So stock is bullish. First condition satisfied. Second condition, price is moving up. Now you can see as this move is good, strong enough. Third condition, price is 15-minute candle is closing above the R1 level. Now here you can see this blue candle which marked as entry. This candle closed above the monthly R1, monthly R1 and weekly R1 both. So we'll enter, and fourth condition is price is above the super trend, which is plotted, this green line, this step kind of line which you can see. So we'll enter here on close. Our stop loss would be the super trend level. So this green line will be our stop loss, and let price move, and we will trail our stop loss with the super trend line. You can see this up move we are able to capture, and here our stop loss is triggered when it came below the super trend level. Now bearish trade, totally reverse of this trade. Price is below monthly or weekly pivot point. Stock, that means stock is bearish. Stock is breaking down any pivot point, say monthly S1 or weekly S1 or weekly S2. Now stock has shown strong down move before the breakout. And fourth condition is price is below 15-minute super trend indicator. So here our entry would be on 15-minute chart, candle closes, I have mentioned here above, but it is below, sorry. Right guys, when candle closes below the breakdown level, say S1, S2 on weekly or monthly S1. So then we'll enter the trade, and stop loss would be the super trend, 15-minute super trend level, which is 7.3. Now here in this case, as you can see, now here it just touched the super trend line, but never closed below it. Now on this candle, it closed below the monthly S1 line. Okay, stock is already below monthly pivot and weekly pivot. Now here stock closed below the monthly S1 line, so we can enter the trade with stop loss of super trend line, and you can see the how trade moved. And we have to when price comes above the super trend line, you have to close it. So this is how this bearish trade will work. I have one more trading pattern I use here is reversal trades. Now here in same case, how reversal trade work is, first I'll cover bullish trade. When price is above monthly pivot point, okay, so this condition is must, price is above monthly pivot, so it is bullish. Currently stock has pulled back from recent high, so stock has moved up, now it's coming down, and after this pullback, before this pullback there was a strong up move before the current pullback, and price is testing or breaking out from weekly S1 levels. And now I tell you how, on chart this. So we have to enter a long trade here, strong reversal candle at or above the weekly S1 on 15-minute or hourly chart. So I suggest use 15-minute chart, and stop loss below the low of the candle before the entry candle. So here we have to take stop loss on two candles. You can use super trend also here, that is fine, but price at this point will be below super trend. Now on graph I'll show you how. This is IndusInd Bank chart. Now price was above weekly pivot level, blue line. Okay. Now in this zone, price went up with strong up move. First up black arrow. It came down and tested S1 level on weekly. Coincidentally, monthly R1 was also there. So at this dual level, it took support and bounced from there. Now here entry would be on close of this candle or above it, and stop loss would be below this candle. Now this same pattern repeated at on 13 July. When price went above strongly, it came down and tested the S1 level. Price was already monthly pivot and tested the weekly S1 level and bounced from there. See again here, price came, here it is below pivot, so we won't take last S1 retest because price is already below pivot. So stock is not bullish stock. Now same way, reverse of this is bearish trade. Condition would be price is below monthly pivot point. Current stock has pulled back from current lows, so stock has price is below monthly pivot, so it is bearish. Stock has gone down and it recovered from the lows, so there is strong down move before the recent pullback. So whatever this recovery is there, before this recovery there was strong down move, and price is testing weekly R1 or breaking down the weekly R1. When to sell? Strong reversal candle or below the weekly R1 on 15-minute time frame, and stop loss will be high of the candle before the entry candle. Now if there is no candle before entry candle, so you can take low high of entry candle. Now in same example you can see here price is below monthly pivot hit here on 17th, last one, see my arrow, okay, below monthly pivot, blue line, and here at same point there is weekly R1. Can you see price testing there and coming down? So here we can take a short trade with stop loss above this blue candle and just see the small down move here. So this was the basic example of our this thing. Now for candle purpose, which candles I use? When I'm in few slides, I have shown that price is testing the pivot level and reversing from there and forming a bullish candle. So you can use bullish Maribozu candle at the pivot level for bullish trade, the standard bullish candle, the reversal candle, or a strong hammer candle. Third one. And this last is spinning top. This you can avoid because this is a doji candle kind of thing. So last one need to be avoided, but these first three you can use. Now for bearish purpose, now I tell you the reason. See, name doesn't matter. We have to just go for, what does the candle signifies and where it is forming. I just look at two things in candle. Candle forming at a major support level and understand the psychology of candle. Now in Maribozu, you can see candle open at the low and close at the extreme point of the candle. That means bulls were in control. In second candle, you can see candle opened here, went little below it, open price, and closed in the upper part of the candle. That is say 80% part on 80% zone of the candle. So it is a bullish candle. Now hammer is what? In hammer, what happens? Candle opened above, it went down till low of the candle. You can see by the wick and close above, again went back. So what happens in hammer candle? Price opens, bear start hammering the price goes down, and then bulls start buying aggressively. So again entire price comes up to day high of the candle. So that is the psychology of these candles. Same way reverse of it is bearish Moribozu, inverted hammer, and standard bearish candle. These are just opposite of bullish candle. So what I recommend you is, don't go by the name, just understand the psychology of the candle. Okay. Now just few guidelines here. Now change little how you observe the chart. By plotting this, considering a stock bullish or bearish. Now you go on historically many charts. You will understand how these pivot levels work when momentum catches up. So that will increase your confidence in the levels. Start observing how stocks behave at particular level, whether it is forming what kind of pattern there. So with experience, you will start using patterns at the important pivot levels. Any compression pattern near important level can give a good entry point. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll show you, just to increase your confidence, I'll show you one this Excel sheet, what I have prepared. I'm in process of making this for few stocks. I'll share this with you. Now in this, what I have done from 2008 till 2020, I have classified the Nifty as bullish or bearish on daily chart based on the monthly and weekly pivot. Based on only monthly pivot. So how monthly pivots are strong? Now we'll start from this November part. Can you see this blue color? Now in November 2019, what happened? Stock, not a single day stock went below the weekly pivot or monthly pivot or monthly S1. For entire month, it stayed above the monthly pivot for entire 20 days of the month. And see result. It gave 2.5% that month. So it was sideways month. Never went above R1. So momentum never caught up. Okay. Now see this January month. See, these were basically sideways month. You'll realize this in March and few old months. For 6 days, stock was below monthly pivot, and 17 days, no, we covered this already. See here. For 9 days, stock was below monthly pivot, and 5 days stock was below monthly R1. That means for 14 days stock was bearish only. And see the return it gave. Low made during this month as compared to previous month low close was 6.5%. So entire month stock gave negative return, and it only 6 days it was above pivot, so it gave just 2.5% positive from the previous month close. Now see here March month what happened. For 5 days stock was below monthly pivot. For 16 days it was below monthly R1. So you can see the negative returns. That month gave 32% negative return till the low. I'm counting here, low, and it never went above the monthly pivot. So you can see positive returns were hardly there. Okay. Now see April month. Now what happened in April month was 10 days, starting 10 days stock was below monthly pivot, 10 days. So it gave negative 6% return. And next 8 days it was above monthly pivot. So during that time it gave 15% return. Now again May, 13 days stock was below monthly pivot. Okay, so stock gave just 10% return and just 10% negative return, and just 6 days it was above pivot. So it just gave 2.5% negative return. Now June and July, if you see here, June, July, August, stock was hardly below the monthly pivot. It was always above the monthly pivot. And see the number of days is spent above R1. So these were momentum months because stock spent most of the time above R1 in these 2 months. So stock gave Nifty gave 10% return in both the month. And see here in August also it gave 6.5% return because above R1 days were less. So momentum was less. Getting my point? So this I have done. I'll share this sheet with you. This I have done for entire month. You can observe here also. In May, 9% negative return because entire month was below pivot. Correct? You see September, 18 days spent above monthly R1, and you can see the 12% return. So where momentum lies, you can make out from this. I think few guidelines I've already covered. Yeah. Now I'll we are left less time. Still I'll continue it. Now option trade. Now what I suggest a new traders who don't venture into options, because option got many factors other than price. Like options are impacted by volatility, options are impacted by theta decay, because what have purchased you start of the month, OTM option is going to be zero by end of the month. And there is there are many other factors which impact the option price. So due to this, even if stock moves a little bit, there's possibility you make losses in option buy. Okay, so new traders don't venture into options. You start with cash trading. How I trade option is during first 12 months of the month. Okay, so say from start first day of the month till 12th day of the month, only I buy option, buy call or put. If I want to go long, I buy call. If I want to go short, I buy put. Only these 12 days. Now from 13th to 28th of the month, I go long trade via bull call spread. Now what is bull call spread? You buy ATM call and you sell OTM call. That way you reduce your cost. And for bearish trade, I buy ATM put and sell OTM put. So that is bear put spread. So that way my loss is, I'm reducing my loss. Because in this period from 13 to 20, theta decay has already started. So if I buy only call or only put, that value will deteriorate faster. So I need to have one sell call also against my buy call. So that is the logic behind the bull call spread or bear put spread. Now third is last 6 to 7 days of expiry. Never buy option in expiry week, because theta decay is very fast and you will lose your premium like this. So only trade I do in this period is, I do for long I'll do bull call ladder, or for short I do bear put ladder. Now what is bull call ladder? A bull call ladder is, I buy ATM call, I sell OTM call, and I sell one more OTM call few strikes away. So this way my cost is very minimal, because as only 6-7 days are left, so my next two sell calls will deteriorate faster. But this is very risky strategy, so it's only advice for experienced traders. And for short trade, during last 6 to 7 days, I go for bear put ladder, which is buy ATM put, sell OTM put, and sell far OTM put. So against one put buy, I have two OTM put sell. So my cost is minimal. But this is only for last 6-7 days, and never sell naked call or puts. That is my humble request in stock, especially because in option sale you go for very minimal profit, and your risk is unlimited. I do option selling only in Nifty. That is also a rule based, which already I have covered in my face-to-face webinar. So this is my request. Never sell, call or put in stocks. My humble request, avoid it. Okay. Now here, few points in option trades. Stop loss should be kept on stock price when it hit exit from option. Okay, so it's not that you keep a stop loss on option. Stop loss has to be on the stock price. So whatever your original stock price stop loss is there, it is hit, you exit from option. Second thing, very important in option is time stop loss. I never stay option buy or trade for more than 3 days. Naked option buy I'm talking about, not the bull call spread or bear put spread. I'm talking about time factor in option buy or sell. Don't stay if your target is not achieved in option, exit within 3-4 days, because then theta decay will start hurting you. In last 10 days of the expiry, avoid carrying option buy overnight. As I told you, since 12th or 13th of the month only I switched to bull call spread or bear put spread. Okay. Now here I have covered, I think, major portion. I have covered options also. And any further query, I'm to obviously that I'll take questions. This whole setup can be applied to commodity. Just I apply it to USD INR trading. I apply pivot point setup, my pattern setup to currency also. I trade regularly in currency. Okay, you can watch my currency webinar on YouTube. I sent a link in pivot where I've covered small portion of the this pattern part. In option, don't use pivot point. Never use in option, because option pricing got many factors. Okay, option parts got many factors. The price is very volatile, so don't apply a pivot on option price. For option monthly or weekly, see, in stocks we have only monthly option. Okay, and in never, in Nifty, never buy a weekly option. Weekly option never buy in Nifty, because theta decay is very fast before you target will achieve. So I always sell in weekly. And option buying and selling, buying should be done in monthly only monthly option you buy, never buy in weekly. That is my now OI data for stocks. I look at I'll show one Excel to you. Yeah, I forgot to share this Excel. Now here I have made one report where I get the data of pivot points, and there I make this which stocks which are bullish and which stocks which are bearish. Okay, so I get a list here using pivot point. Now you can see, now in bullish zone, like monthly and weekly pivot both up. only TCS, Dr. Reddy, Havels, Infi, Wipro. Getting my point? And these all are bearish stocks. You can see, this pattern started changing since last 4 5 days, and carnage happened in just 3 days. You just imagine, I just got a signal this from last 3 4 days. I also tweeted also. Okay, this breadth is deteriorating. So major stock when come to bearish side. So overall broader market is not doing good. The screener and everything I'll share. Option condition mentioned are for stocks. Option condition mentioned is for stock. If stock opens gap up or gap down from the pivot level, it is better to still take a trade or wait for the retest of the pivot. See, in a gap up level, if gap up is more than 2 to 3% and above, R1 level or major pivot level, so just see first 15-minute candle. If stock comes down breaking 15 minutes candle low and retest, then you take, or momentum trade you can take after first 15-minute candle breakout, which is called ORB, opening range breakout trade. Now this OI example, I'll just, let me see. I have that Excel or not. Sorry for shooting beyond time because there was too much to cover. Now see this FNO file. Now here you can say what I do on daily basis. I take top 10 stocks. I think this will need little extra understanding. So I'll cover it in our group. Like see here how to make it also. I'll show you. Now this is based on Bow copy. Okay, and this is the data. Now which are the stock like see Ashok Leyland, GMR Infra, Manapuram. These prices are up. So along with OI. So here idea 13% up and 10% is OI is up. Ashok Leyland 13% up, 6% OI up. On this side, Apollo Hospital 3% up and OI is up by 18%. India Bull Housing stock up 5%, OI is up 12%. So these are bullish stock for next day or next 1 or 2 days. I consider it that way. See, stop losses move hit and then stock move up immediately. That happens because markets are too much volatile these days. So you have to take a stop loss and wait for another pattern or another stock. When Nifty is falling and VIX is increasing, which option we have to trade only? So when Nifty is falling, VIX is increasing, for buy side, I always suggest, going for monthly option, and sell side, you can do in weekly, only in Nifty. Okay. For stocks, so we don't have any option. Can you show how to add super trend? I'll show how to, add super trend. See, on this one, that we have to see on Zerodha only, because go to indicators, super trend. Okay, now this is plotted. Now change this setting, go to setting part, make length as 7 and factor as 3, click OK and 15. Okay, now can you see an example of resistance at level, making pivot and then coming down? Just see the kind of risk reward we can get here. See, on trading view, super trend indicator, I'm not able to find. Give me some time. If I'm able to, devise for trading view, I'll definitely do it. Or if someone trading view expert can guide me. Just a second, I'm not able to find chat box. Yeah. So on Zerodha, you can use super trend. In trading view, I'm not finding proper, super trend indicator. In trading view, I'll try to find out, if I'm able to get it, I'll definitely, share with you guys. OI sheet I've already shown you. Screener, I will share with you guys. Give me a few days. Let me work this on weekend. Nifty intraday, I use 15-minute chart. Now this pivot strategy is back tested. Like back testing, I've already shown you on Nifty how it works. When stock is above R1, it's always in momentum. With number of days, I'm in process of doing it on stocks. We'll share result with you because it is a bit complex back testing, so it's taking too much time. Yeah, stock selection is based on pivot point. Yes, we have to combine monthly pivot, monthly and weekly pivot both. See, for first 12 days of the month, I normally buy 0.5 to 0.6 delta. I don't go in the money much. Okay, I buy 0.5 and not below 0.5. I don't buy OTMs. 0.5 or slightly in the money, 0.6 delta. Someone is asking me, can you cover few example of how to hedge futures? See, I'll give you one example. Okay. I'll go to option chain chart, equity derivatives. See how I trade option. For example, I'll just show you Dr. Reddy, or maybe say Nifty. Now how hedging is done is, say Nifty is trading at 11,050. So I buy future at 11,050 and I hedge it with ATM call. So my trade is hedged here. I'll show you on notepad. Now this is Nifty 11,050. Okay, this is the level. So if I buy future here, I don't carry future naked. So I hedge it with put. Say price is 200 rupees. Now issue here is 200 point is my hedging cost. So stock, even if moves 200 points, I'm not going to make much money. Correct? So that's the issue with hedging. So that's why I told you what I do. I buy call for first 10 months with a stop loss. Next 10 months, I buy call. Say I buy call at 11,050 call I buy, and I sell 11,200 call. Okay, so if I bought this for 200, I sell this for say 100. So my loss is limited to 100, and my profit can be 150 points. Correct? So this is the way I do it. So buying hedging with a future is a costly affair. And second alternative is bit complex, so which I cannot cover in 2-3 minutes. Otherwise, you make mistake. So it's hedging with selling calls. That is bit advanced concept, so I won't be able to cover it here. This all the Excel I will be sharing, guys. Don't worry. See, do you prefer pivot trades or pattern trades? I prefer pattern trades, but I use pivot trades for my finding a momentum. So I many time combine both. No WhatsApp, Telegram group will be formed. It's a broadcast group would be formed, and we'll open it for some time. So question and answer would be answered. Now algo part I don't know. Now Camarilla thing, I'll definitely cover it. Yeah, just a second. Hello. Hello. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sure, guys. So what I'll do now, any question you can definitely ask me at group, and I'll close it. I don't know. Time कहाँ चला गया पता ही नहीं चला. We are already 6:20. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I hand over this to Swati now.
Uh, yeah, thank you, Yogeshi. Thank you for extending the session. I was seeing, the way you was taking up the question and explaining. I'm sure all the listener have loved the session. So can I just have a quick poll from people related to their experience of today's session? I hope it was great for all of you. Thank you so much. So people are really liked it and admired. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank
So
you, guys.
Yogesh,
Thank you.
very thank you for coming up on the show. I requested you again to come on. So thank you for coming back again. It was really amazing having you today on the show. Yogesh ji, I will just confirm one more thing, before I sign off from this for the session, for my all listeners. I
Yeah.
just wanted to know that the presentation, the file, the PPT which you was using, you will be sharing to us, right? So that we
Yes,
will
I'll
be
be
once
sharing
there
PPT.
is today post this session. So by today 11 p.m., my all dear listener, you will get the PDFs. And Yogesh ji, you was also mentioning about the Excel files. So will you be giving me today, or you will be giving me together with the screen
No,
you make?
Excel files give me 1 or 2 days.
No
You know.
problem. No
Yeah.
problem. All right. So, can we take up a time, let's say Wednesday, so that I can give to all my listener by Thursday? Will that be okay with you,
Yeah.
Yogesh
That's
ji?
great. That's
Okay,
great. That's
thank
great.
you. So,
By
my dear
Wednesday it
listener,
will be done.
okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. So, my dear listener, you will be getting the all the respective files by Thursday. But the PDF, the
Yeah.
presentation which was Yogesh she was using today, we will send you that session to you. Okay. So yeah, so this session was, I'm sure as your people are writing that you have really loved it. So thank you everybody for being here today with us, and lot of love to all of you people. Once the session is over, you will find a feedback form. Please help with your feedback form, and that will also help me to improve further as an individual and for the organization too. Thank you and take care of all of you. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you, Yogeshi, winding up the
Thanks.
session.
Thanks, Swetaji. Thank you. Thanks all the listeners. For any query, I am there, so don't worry.
If there is any question which is, which went unanswered, so do not worry. Just put your question to us at support@elanmarkets.com, and we will definitely get the answer in couple of days. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care. Nice.